When I was working with Sydney Drop Bears back in 2019, it was the daily 2:30 a.m. get up, stay up till 10 a.m. Not the best.
Uh,
So I feel you.
nah,
I feel you. All right, let's
yeah.
let's jump in here. So obviously, we've had a couple of sessions. You've had more than your share of what we'll call roadblocks. And so today we're going to be going for 2 for 1, two back to back. See if we can sort something out and give you some direction here. So, where are you at rank wise right now? We'll start with that.
Plat 1, I think.
Plat 1, okay. And
Yeah.
where were you? Where have you been for the last year and a half? What has the rank gone up for now? 'Cause-
Um, year and a half, like probably low plat, probably high gold. Yeah, no,
okay,
more likely high gold.
okay. So let's go ahead and plan our flag down and be like, nice improvement over the last year and a half.
It
Efficient
is, yes,
improvement?
yes.
No, not at all. Smooth improvement?
Exactly,
No.
yeah.
Relaxing, happy, sunshine and roses improvement? No, not at all. Definitely not with you. Terrible.
Yeah.
But improvement nonetheless. So I think it's important to do that, not just because it's all happiness and love and kisses, but because you are capable of making significant progress, and you have proven that, right? You not only have to take my word for it, you've done it. Plat 1, Diamond 4, that fluctuation, that's a pretty big jump from where you were. Now, just quickly going over it, I'm looking through our DMs over the last, I guess, 2 years now, and there's been a lot of volatility and frustration, to say the least, right? So what are we looking at today? What's the purpose of today? You tell me.
Um, Probably just clear up all the noise that I've got in my head of what I think I'm doing wrong, and
Sure.
maybe clarify some stuff that I'm doing right,
Yeah.
because a lot of the time it feels like I am not doing anything right.
Yeah. Which we
And
know is not true, but that is absolutely the feeling, of course. I understand.
yeah, and
Okay.
it just I'm always like I obviously try not to worry about it because I've seen so much saying not to worry about stats. So I
Yeah.
try not to, but
Yeah.
it's just always the thing in the back of my mind, like I feel like I don't do damage.
Yeah.
Like I feel not even like going off numbers, it's a feeling sort of thing.
Sure. Understandable. It's a mental block. I mean, we've talked about this with you. Like you distract yourself with nonsense, and you get frustrated yourself, and you kind of throw yourself for a loop. Excuse me. So for you, kind of approaching that. And I'm glad we're doing this. I mean, obviously 4 a.m. is a bit rough for you, to say the least, but it has been 2 years since we've actually been in a voice call, almost 2 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, there's been a lot of conversation, one or two replay reviews, but nothing really where we can kind of converse and get it out here. So, so feeling like you're not doing damage. Let's actually take these notes. So, feeling like not doing damage, not even related to stats necessarily. Okay, keep going. What else? What else are we looking at today?
Um uh,
I know it's a broad question. Take your time. We got 2 hours, so
yeah. Yeah, I think I actually might have written some down.
that's great.
Uh, I think for the most part, my cooldown usage is good.
Okay.
I've always been focused on trying not to, or at least I think so, trying not to go in if I'm missing something. So I'm
Okay.
always doing a reset. But sometimes it
Usually
can feel
deflect,
like,
I assume.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
And what's killed me a lot recently, honestly, is the muscle memory of the 2 seconds longer on
Yep.
deflect cooldown.
It'll happen.
Um, oh God, it happens so often.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
But I've found that while I'm doing the reset and waiting for the cooldowns, I'm like, and like I might be on a flank, or I might literally just be, I might already be in position. I'm just got to stand there and wait, sort of thing, before they can see me and get me without my cooldowns. I think that like there is a few times where my team will be in and it's kind of over by the time I'm getting my cooldowns back. So I don't know if I'm starting the cycle wrong somewhere or whether it's just like bad luck sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Okay. Keep going.
And over the last like 6 months probably, I've like had this absolute obsession with mechanics and sensitivity. Um, as I've always thought that was my worst point is the mechanics. And
Yeah. I mean, it has
um,
been something we've talked about in previous replay reviews, right? So it's an obsession for sure, but it's also not necessarily wrong. Keep going.
yeah, I think originally my sense was like really low because I'd been advised like to use more of my arm if I've got the space.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, as of recently, I've realized that I don't actually use a lot of my mouse pad, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
feel comfortable moving my whole arm
Uh-huh.
to do that sort of stuff. I feel more comfortable. Like I wouldn't, not just using my wrist. I don't have a super high sensitivity, but like a bit more of like almost half my forearm and then my wrist and my hand, rather than like
Yeah.
from my elbow down sort of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
And I found that's a bit better.
Okay.
I think I've I've been like also because I've got because of the stream and everything. I've met a lot of Genjis that are masters and grandmasters and stuff like that, and they're telling me all about their sensitivities and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, it is personal, but um, I did listen to one of them for a while, and I upped it like a little bit every couple weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
And when I say a little bit, I mean like in game, I moved it up like point 0.1 every
Yeah.
2 weeks,
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah. Yeah.
thing.
Very minute. Okay.
Um, and that was, I think that was doing good. Um, but like I messaged you not too long ago, I had a break for like 2 and a bit weeks, like
Yeah.
recently. So
Yeah.
I think in these VODs you'll see there's a lot of over flicking, I would say, because I'm not used to like I probably just put it up and then stopped playing. So
Yeah.
I'm still not used to the new sense sort of thing. Because I can
Okay.
feel a difference every single time I do it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. So here's a question then. So where are you at sensitivity wise right now, EDPI?
Um, Let me do the math for you.
Sure.
Uh,
I mean, if you're going up 0.1, then that's a little might be a bit of a tricky conversation.
it's basically flat 6,000, 6,080.
Okay, 6,080. Here's the deal. So like 6,000 is if you have the mouse pad space for it. Like I'm talking like 12, 15 inches across. You really don't. There's no real need to go higher than 5,000, right? I mean, you can, but you don't really need to. But here's my main concern with what you're doing. Okay, so 6,000 is fine. Like it's really fine. It's not a problem at all. Like it's precise enough. Like you're going to be using arm, wrist, fingers. You're going to get a good little bit of variety. It's no problem. The problem is that you're changing sensitivity every week or every 2 weeks.
Yeah, yeah.
This whole
Yeah.
minutia thing, like I'm going to be perfectly respectful. It's terrible advice. Terrible advice.
Yeah, right. Yep.
You really need to not do that. The only time where that might be appropriate is with a player that knows that their sensitivity is bad and is just really scared of taking the ice plunge and just completely cutting it in half, right?
I think that describes me perfectly, but I
Right.
think I knew that it was bad, if that makes
Right,
sense.
right. But the thing is like if you were climbing up from like let's say 4,000 to 6,000, like 4,000 is not bad with Genji either. Like 4,000 is a little low, but like 4,000 is fine. Like a lot of like flex DPS players, like pro players, are using 4,000, 4,800, 3,600, 5,000, right? Like you're in the vicinity of like a totally fine sensitivity. The thing with sense is it's not so much about like having the perfect sense, so much as having like somewhere within the ballpark of what's considered to be a flexible sense, and then just not changing it obsessively. Because the reason why that's a problem, it's not so much about the sensitivity, it's about the distraction. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's not just about the muscle memory, it's about the distraction. Because every single time you
Yeah.
change your sense, that becomes the forefront of your mentality, the forefront of your attention.
Yeah.
And the irony here is
That's
that when it
definitely
becomes
true.
the forefront of your attention, your mechanical habits, or maybe what you actually need to train mechanically, is not the forefront of your attention. Do you kind of see what I'm saying? So that's kind of the problem. It's like
Yeah.
if you're trying to work on your mechanics, changing your sensitivity is probably like one of the last things that you should do if your sensitivity is fine. Because then it's going to be the only thing you're thinking about mechanically instead of crosshair placement, trigger discipline, tracking, drilling, Kovacs, whatever other productive things you could be doing. You're focusing on your sensitivity. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my advice for you is that like, 6,000, 6,080, 5,000. I mean, these are all fine. Like they're all fine. Like just if it's like working for you like recently, or there's a sensitivity, or like you have like you like the number 5786 for some reason. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like you could be like funny and be like, oh, I'm gonna set my sensitivity to 420. Or I don't care. Like just do something and stick with it as long as it's between. For Genji, I would definitely say probably between 3,500 and 6,000. Lower if you're like a flex, like a on a Zen player like me. But for me, for example, I do struggle a little bit with 180s when I play Genji because I'm about 3,000. So you'd want to be about 3,500.
Yeah,
plus.
right.
So you're fine. Yeah. You're fine. Like this is like, it's not a big deal. You're good.
I think as well the reason I had it so low originally was, like I said, because I have a big mouse pad and I've like obviously got it on my desk and everything, but my desk is quite shallow.
Yeah.
Like, because my room's small. So when I'm like up against where I'm like comfortable at my desk, my elbow is basically right at the start of the desk. Like it's touching like my stomach area.
Yeah. So then like 5,000 plus, right? Like that's probably going to be better.
Yeah. Like my mouse is almost at the edge of the mouse pad already.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, because it's just a shallow desk.
So then just add like 500. So like if I were to recommend like 4,000 or 4,800, maybe you need to be closer to like 5,000, right? Just something a little bit higher so that works for you, but it's still like enough. Yeah, I mean, like that's totally fine. That's a legitimate reason to change your sense, right?
Yeah.
And then if you were to get like a little bit more space, or you were to feel like I'm getting some wrist pain, well then you would drop it a little bit, right? But no, that's fine. This is fine. You just need to get rid of distractions.
The reason to get any pain.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been pretty good with like pain. I've never had anything like that.
That's good. That's good.
Not really on my PC that much, really.
Good. So. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good stuff. Yeah, I mean, the big thing is just like for you, is it's like the reason why sensitivity is always a trap for people. And by the way, you're not crazy. I've actually worked with a couple of Overwatch League players who've struggled with this a lot, right? Is because and it's the consistent theme with all the Overwatch League players and contenders players that struggle with this. They all had mental issues with their practice, and the reason why they fixated on sensitivity is because it's something they could control, right? You can drag the number up or you can drag the number down, right? And so like if you 100%. Have a bad day, you can go, well, I can fix this. If you have a good day, you can go, well, it's because the number was correct. And then if you feel like, oh, I underflicked there, it must be the number. I need to change the number. Do you see what I'm saying? So it just means something that you can just immediately fix, when the reality is that like Overwatch is just full of, you need to be good enough. And some days you're just not going to feel it as well as other days. And that's just kind of how it is. Yeah. It's like the equivalent of like a sprinter having an off day, and then changing their cleats, right? Or changing their compression shorts, or changing their training routine. You kind of have to have faith in your routine and play long-term. And that takes a lot of maturity and a lot of patience. And I know that that's not something that comes easy to you, with all due respect.
Yeah. It's just wanting to fix everything right now.
It is. And like I said, you're not crazy. This is a very common problem. It's completely understandable as well, because Overwatch can be really punishing with this kind of stuff too. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it. Find the sense that you want to work with.
Especially when you're getting like flamed every single game.
Oh, for sure, right?
You're like,
for sure.
Dude, I can't even shot.
Hang a second. Hang on a second, right? Like this is kind of what we talked about though, right? Like why do you have chat on, right? Why are you in voice? You got to create. So
I've never in voice. I've just got the chat on.
But see, that's the opposite. It should be the opposite, if anything, right? Voice can occasionally be useful. Chat's not useful almost ever, right? Turn it off. It's the same problem as your sense. You've got just too many distractions, right? Too many distractions. I don't want to hear, well, I should be able to play. No, you can't, right? It's okay. Turn it off. Stick with the sense. Remove all these like distractions and these like, well, I do this because of this. Well, then get rid of it. Seriously, simplify this process for yourself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I know like it's like these are not exactly new things to you, right? But this is kind of how it goes, right? Like you need somebody in the back looking at it from an objective measure and being like, hey, you should know better than this. Why aren't you doing this, right? I'm gonna be honest with you. Like if I was grinding ranked, I probably would benefit from some random Twitch chatter telling me what I'm doing wrong, or with my routine. Because like sometimes you just need a third person, not necessarily somebody smarter than you. So I know you know this stuff, but it's important to remember. All right. So
yeah, that makes sense.
Get the chat off. stick with a sensitivity. I mean, I'll give you a day or two to sort that out, but like really, like you don't even have a week to sort your sensitivity out, because that's gonna turn into 2 weeks. It's gonna turn into 3 weeks. Well, I still haven't found my sensitivity. No. You got 2 days, right? 2 days.
Yeah, I can just leave it at what it's at now.
Yeah, you really can. 6,000
I'm
is
happy
fine
with where it is. So.
Yeah, so send it and leave it. And if you go, oh, I'm over flicking, well, that's a you problem, right? Do you think if I gave 6,000 sensitivity to freaking, I don't know, who's Alvocates, and gave him a week to play with 6,000 sensitivity, do you think he would be over flicking as much as you in a week? No, right? Why? Because he's freaking Alvocates and you're not, right? So you need to be more like Alvocates, right? Like, so it's not that hard, right? Like Alvocates just grinds the game a lot more than you, so you'll never be over or flicking correctly as much as Alvocates, but you can gap close, right? So, okay, let's keep going here. Any questions with training routine? Are you happy with your training routine? We kind of already exposed the chat problem that we got here. That's an important ingredient. But how are you with your consistency? How do you feel about your warm-up? How do you feel about your breaks? How do you feel about the consistency of the day-to-day routine? Are you playing too long? And so on.
No, I'm pretty happy with it all. It doesn't really bother me. The only thing I don't know if I'd call it a struggle, but I just struggle to find something that is like a decent warm-up sort of thing. Because if I do quick play, I kind of just get annoyed because I have this like deep dug up theory that quick play is just absolute cancer in this game.
I mean, quick play is also super inefficient as a DPS player, right? Because like you're talking about spawn times, you talk about map voting, it's just inefficient, right?
Yeah. It's like it might take me like 3 minutes to get a game,
right?
But then I get some game and it's Clash, which I hate.
Yeah.
And then it's like against characters I hate, so then I'm going into comp just in a shit mood.
Yeah. Well, there you go. And then, right, there's a win or loss, and the number of exposures to shooting people in the head is like 40% saturation compared to like 75% saturation in deathmatch, or basically 100% saturation in Vaxta. I mean, I have issues with Vaxta too, but at least you're shooting, right? So, okay. So quick play, let's axe that.
Yeah. For the last maybe month or more of actual playing, so like before the break, I did move to Vaxstar, and I was just doing that for it just was kind of a feeling of like, oh yeah, I'm warmed up sort of thing, but that might be like, I don't know, 10 minutes maybe. Maybe not. Maybe
you might not even need 10 minutes to be honest, but yeah,
like I said, I just kind of go till I feel like I'm in the groove sort of thing.
Vaxsta's like super exposed, right? Like you're saturated, like literally no downtime, right? So
yeah, exactly, and I would love to do try hard free for all, but there's just nothing.
Yeah, it's DOA, which is tragic because it was just great. Like it was just such a great custom game, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Is that all? Like, do you want my 2 cents on that?
Yeah, that's probably about it.
Sure.
Honestly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's just like set the bar as low as we possibly can, because Vaxta is really boring. So what I would do is I would stick with Vaxta. But what I would do is I would try to routinify it a little bit. What I would do is I'd set a 5-minute timer limit. Like there's a timer in the top left, I'm sure you know, right? 5 minutes, right? 60 seconds, just bumbling around, shooting stuff, getting comfy. Okay? So just keep this in mind. I'm gonna say this out loud, okay? 1 minute, bumbling, killing, whatever. 1 minute, dash, distance, 180, practice. 1 minute, dash, at front floor, 1-shot, practice. So the difference between the two is one is you're dashing through the target, 180 right-clicking melee, right? The second one is that the third one, I guess, would be you're dashing in front of them at the floor. You understand the difference, right? The 180 versus just the floor dash, okay? Now you notice that the two things that you're practicing here are not only your alt fire accuracy, which by the way, you need to slow that down. On both of these, do not rush the alt fire. But you're also practicing dash distance, like measuring out dash distance. You understand? So very important problem that a lot of Genjis make, especially with that second 180 one, is they dash too far. So they will pivot alt fire, and even if they aim it perfectly, they only hit 1 or 2 shurikens, right? They obviously can't hit the melee. So it's really easy to lose somebody when they're up in your face, but if you get it quickly and smoothly, you're going to be able to hit that consistently. So practice both of those combos, okay? The next one is going to be 1 minute double jump overhead, aim down, alt fire. And then 1 minute, smooth, primary fire, mid-range, tracking. Obviously, Vaxta is Cancer, gonna miss most. Okay.
Yeah. God,
Because
that's
the reality is, like, if you're aiming your shurikens with Genji, most of the time you're aiming at long distances, kind of like down a sight line, down a choke, or like predictive fire, or you're aiming at an unaware target, so that, like, or a target that's moving predictably because you're coming in from an angle. So you're not really worried about like how accurate you are on that fifth one, especially. You're just more getting in the mind of like reading movement patterns at ranges and trying to hit like one shuriken, right? That would be great, or maybe two. If you can read the movement pattern predict. Now Vaxta is going to have, they're going to have patterns. It doesn't really replicate real movement perfectly, but it's not really about the movement. Like, you could honestly do this in just one of the old school like AI custom games. You just need something moving, basically. So right now we're just getting warm. We're practicing 180 alt fires. We're practicing floor dash alt fires. We're practicing aiming while moving over somebody's head. And then we're practicing just a little bit of mid-range primary firing. And if you're really feeling lazy, you can go through this entire list and cut it in half. So 30, 30, 30, 30, 30. You understand?
Yeah,
and that's
right.
it.
Okay.
And that's it. So you don't need more than that. So then what I would do is I'd jump into Q. Then I'd jump into while you wait deathmatch, and you beat up on some bronze Cassidy players or something, or some idiot that's on Roadhog. Just get clicking, just click for like a minute or two, or however long OC Qs are, and then you're fine.
Yep.
You should be good to go. Now, from then on, after that first game, no more while you wait deathmatch, no more Vaxta, no more custom games.
Yeah.
You're out of the queue, you're away from your PC.
Yeah.
Because at that point in time, you're already warm enough, and the most important thing is to kind of maintain and basically recuperate your mental energy and go right back in again, go right back in again, go right back in again. But you need to recuperate a little bit of that mental energy. This is a sprint, so that means you need to stop and take breaks. Make sense?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Then while you wait, DM for first game. After that, always step away from PC. And what will happen is that means you'll miss map voting, you'll miss favoriting Genji, you might accidentally get Genji banned because you weren't there in time. Doesn't matter. I would literally rather have you miss a couple games. Genji got banned. Than for you to sit at your PC. Way more valuable.
Yeah.
Trust me, way more valuable.
Okay.
So like, I know this is a lot here, but what we're doing is we're actually simplifying the process for you, right? We're cutting down on the amount of things that you have to do, cutting down on your warm-up time, simplifying it. What will happen with the Vaxta warm-up is that it will start to be brainless because it is very short and it is very repetitive. So what you can do, if you're feeling bored with a warm-up after a few weeks, mix it up, do something different. Try and find try hard. Okay. Go into an 8-player FFA deathmatch. Do you have Kovacs?
I did. I might still have it. I don't know.
Okay, do it. Does Kovacs translate 1-to-1 to Overwatch? No, but it's different.
Yeah,
and it's also scored. Yeah. So what's the value of scoring? You try harder, right?
Yeah,
you try harder.
I like the challenge mode in.
Yeah. So you either want to warm up that's like really chill and productive, which is what Vaxta is, or you want to warm up that actually challenges you and help and is enjoyable, right? Yeah. And that reality is exactly what you're going for, right? Like, that's what we want. So that's why I like Kovacs. I don't know if it translates 1-to-1 to Overwatch. It doesn't need to. It's just a game, and it's a game involving moving your mouse and using your eyes. And so even if it's quote unquote, oh, well, you can't practice Genji projectiles, it's fine. It doesn't matter. You just need to practice shooting and moving and being engaged in what you're doing, because it's just as much of a brain warm as a Genji warm up, right? Now, I'm not saying go play Soldier 76 in a quick play game and be like, I'm warming up with Genji, right? But like, if we have to play Kovacs because it's fun and it's not perfect to Genji, that's okay. It's still good warm up, right? It's still getting your hand and your eyes warmed up. So, okay. Let's keep going here. Any questions? I know it's a bit of a dump here, but this is what you need.
Yeah, no, I'm happy for this. I don't think so. I think it's all pretty clear.
Okay. Last thing we'll say about with practice. I'm very confident that if you stick with your sense, if you have a bit of a warm-up routine like this, and then you have the routine of being able to step away from your PC during most games, I am confident that you will be able to continue to make careful and slow and steady progress. However, because the Overwatch is an emotionally draining game, and you are a volatile person, with all due respect, right? And again, I'm not saying that I can be like that too, right? I can be like that too. Listen, I'm throwing stones in glass houses. However, your practice is not going to be like night and day. It's not going to happen. So for you, this is going to be about we're sowing seeds, we're making small adjustments for long-term progress. Like I would like if Overwatch is still enjoyable for you, if practice is still enjoyable for you, if this still feels good, a year from now, I would like to see you touch Masters. That's my personal goal.
Yeah.
Just arbitrary. I think that's possible if you're able to keep this up. Now, by keeping this up, I don't mean perfectly. I'm just saying that like you're going to have your crash outs, you're going to have your 3-week breaks, but overall, if you do more of this than last year, then I think we can continue to progress forward. And I want to encourage you that this is personal development, right? Sticking with a routine, trusting yourself, being patient. This is worth doing, and you should feel really a lot of pride in the progress that you've already made because you've done a good job, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
No, I think we're all good.
Okay. I think that we're okay with practice. Remember that the gold hardstack tilting Genji of a year and a half, 2 years ago would never feel like that we're here touching diamond, high plat, with legitimate opportunity to go higher than that. So you have progressed a lot. You have changed a lot as a player. So good stuff. Let's keep up the momentum. Do you want to look at some of these codes?
Yeah.
Okay. Let us see if Overwatch works. Doesn't. Awesome. Okay, well, we're going to have to screen share. My goal next week is to find out why Discord screen share is not working out with Overwatch. So I apologize for the display. Yeah, it's been happening to a couple of my students as well, so it's not just me. But yeah, you'll need to click around in Discord. Can you see my stream here? Let me know if you can.
Yes, I think I can, yeah.
Okay, sad news is that there will not be audio, most likely because it's a display capture, not a window capture.
Okay.
But yeah, we should be okay. Okay, any other questions, Genji, micro, macro, strategy, things that maybe have not come up here before we get started? A little cinematic while we ask questions here, you know. Wait, come on here. There he goes. Oh, no. There you go. Go ahead.
No, I think that there's going to be a lot of like little stuff where,
Sure.
like I know when I watch something back, I'm like, yeah, I obviously should have, for example, I should have dashed the floor,
Yeah.
so I could not be so far behind them. I know
Right.
I do that a lot, but it's just that in particular, the dashing too far is something that I seem to forget a lot. Especially
Now, wait a second.
with, like I said,
So let me interject here. When you say you forget a lot, do you forget a lot when you're just playing the game, or do you forget a lot when you go in with the intent to practice this in a game? Do you understand the difference there?
Yes, I do. I would say that the fixation on mechanics and hitting shots
Got it.
outside of being that is
Yes.
more like in my mind, like present.
It's distracting a little bit. Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I appreciate the honesty there, and that's a very insightful comment from you. It's good to be aware of that. So for you, it's not just going to be about overcoming or like improving your tendencies in other directions. It might be getting better at being more flexible with where your attention can go and not being single-minded, right? Yeah. The reality here, and this is just a little tidbit, but when you're trying to improve on your mechanics, sometimes you just need a break. You know, you need to stop thinking about your mechanics for a game or two, and so you can come back with that freshness.
So hard.
It is. I understand. I could be a little bit like that with my positioning, shockingly, right? When I'm playing Overwatch, right? I can let some things go, but it's important.
Like, I'll have like a Mercy, like 1v1 sort of thing, and she won't even be shooting. She'll be like, but right in my face, and I will miss like 4 shots in a row. And I'm like, that's all I can think about is the fact that I just missed 4 shots in a row.
Well, it's not just you either. It's also by far, come on there. It is the most visible aspect of basically any character. If you think about it, right? Like, it really, Kiriko, Lucio, Soldier, Cassidy. I mean, look at this entire lobby, with the exception of maybe Winston and maybe Juno players because they're kind of dense. But like, they're probably it's all obsession about like, oh wow, I should have hit that, or I should have hit that, or I missed that, right? It's because it's a game, it's a shooter game, so you're gonna think about that a lot, right? So
I think it's also like the fact that Genji's a burst projectile hero, so like. When I'm when I'm shooting, it's the fact that I'm not getting the tick. Whereas if I was on a soldier, I'd be still hitting 1 bullet every 10 bullets, for example.
Right. There's a greater chance of...
So it's like I hit some shots.
There's a greater chance of just getting 0 than there is with a lot of these other characters on our screen.
Exactly,
right? Like Lucio, Juno, Tracer,
bad,
ticky. Yeah, absolutely. Well, but the way to look at it as well is like, maybe this is being a little bit dramatic about it, but then you got to classify yourself as more like a Widowmaker than a soldier, where it's not necessarily about every single shot hitting, but that you occasionally with those plays, you do get what you want. Right. And that results more often in a kill than other characters do. Now, again, that's dramatic, but like the way to look at it is that like even the best Widows in the world don't hit every shot. Right? They just don't. Not literally, not even the best Widow player of all time and the best day ever is going to miss a lot of, even sometimes easy shots, right? I've seen Overwatch League players miss headshots and tanks because they overthink it a little bit, right? It happens all the time. So for you, it's like you need to be comfortable with those dry spells and don't let them distract you too much. And then obviously for you, more importantly than that even, is just like the ability to just like try to turn off your brain on that as much as you possibly can so that you can give full intent onto dash. And that might be where live coaching can be useful, because if I'm in your ear yelling dash distance, right? Or where should you be? That is a good reminder of where your mind state can be. But ultimately live coaching can kind of give you a taste of that, but you got to go back to the well yourself, right? You got to go, but can you replicate that level of intent by yourself? And I don't know. It's good to be aware of that tendency. It's a good start. Okay. Any other reason why you chose this game? And then any other questions?
It was still somewhat present in my memory.
Good.
It was like recent, and the first 2 codes are like I'm like thinking,
excellent,
sort of thing. And the third one, I can barely remember it, so I think that's just a good example of like probably just trash gameplay.
Where in the play session was the first 2 games, and where in the play session was the third game in terms of timing?
The first 2 games were the first 2 games, and the third one, which is Flashpoint, is like I couldn't tell you how far in, maybe like 10 games.
Okay, I want you to remember that. Yeah. So when we're talking about quantity of playtime, especially for you, maybe 3 hours is too much.
Yeah.
If you want to keep playing for fun, that's fine. But maybe ranked on main is not the play. Food for thought. Because really, if you think about that Flashpoint game, I mean, we may or may not look at it, but long story short, it's like, what was the value? What did you get out of that game? Did you progress your Genji skills that game?
Yeah, right.
Right? Now, I know that's a really hard question to answer because you might not always feel the progress even on the good games, right? But mentally, are you creating new neuron connections? Are you strengthening connections? Are you learning? Are you experimenting? If the answer is no, then it's a complete waste. And it's honestly probably a negative. It can be a drawback. It could be making you worse. So I don't want you to be paranoid about that, but I do want you to be attentive to the level of energy and intent that you're giving, because that doesn't surprise me what you're describing. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, there'll definitely be a few times in this where I'm, because I've caught myself doing it recently, like the overheating thing, or maybe a bit more. Honestly, it's probably a bit more limit testing than overheating. Like I'm not like feeling hot, so I'm gonna press harder. It's more like I'm like, if I could get this right now, it would be really big, like a huge stagger or something like that. So there's moments like that. There is a terrible blade in this, I know. But
well, okay, so let me kind of classify things for you. So I am always fine with high risk, high reward plays if they're high risk, high reward. if that's the type of thing that you enjoy doing and you fail a lot, but you also succeed a lot in carry, I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is high risk, medium reward, or extreme risk, medium reward, right? It's like if I say, do you want to flip a coin for, you give me $100 or I give you $100, or flip a coin for the same thing but for $1 instead? Technically, it's the same probability. They're both 50-50 gambles, right? No, neither one is better than the other. Now, your risk aversion might say, well, I don't want to do the $100 one. But if you flipped a coin a million times, the results would still be the same in terms of win-loss, right? So for you, is if you're the type of player that you like those high risk, high reward plays, and you're a little bit more volatile, but you still win, still improve at the same rate, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. But it just has to be done in a logical manner. Like you say, okay, there's a good chance I get this kill. There's a decent chance that I die. It's the appropriate play right now. Now, I will say, if you go for a high risk, high reward play, and there's a low risk, medium reward play, do you understand where I'm going with this? A play where I flip a coin, you give me $20. I flip a coin, I give you $30. Well, it just makes sense to flip that coin because like you're going to win money that way. But, we don't want to over mathematica this, but that is kind of what we're looking for. I'm not necessarily discouraging aggression. That's the last thing we really want to do. It just needs to be calculated. Yeah. Like, for example, right now. Yeah. If you dashed into this Cassidy right now, this would be beyond brain dead. You have no information, no scouting, and you also have a better angle right now, even just where you are, but also you could go here as well, dash here. That is almost as rewarding with infinitely lower risk. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. So this is kind of what I'm saying. Like you could gap close the dash, you have your deflect, it's high risk, high reward, right? But actually no, it's medium reward because you have no scouting, you have no information, this guy's got cooldowns, and there's just better options available. So this is kind of what I'm saying, right? Do you kind of see? So like what you're doing right now
interesting to see,
is correct. Just really quick, this is correct, right? Like this you created space, you got your deflect force, but you shot what was close, you disengaged back to cover, and if we look at the space that your team controls, I mean, it's obvious, right? You're controlling way more space. Good play. Continue.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just going to say, it's going to be interesting to see your opinion on what's a safe play like this, for example, and what is like almost like an afraid play.
Sure, I understand.
Because because I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh, I just think I shouldn't die here. I should spare my life and get out a little bit.
Sure.
Which I did here. And then there's sometimes where I'm like, did I just like chicken out?
Yeah, we'll look for objective measures as much as we possibly can. I try to avoid like subjective descriptives because you're gonna have to just focus on like practicing reading the battlefield and not how aggressive was they feeling. I need to feel more aggressive. I need to feel less no, because like you can't control that crap. All I can see here is that you're on an off angle, a little far from cover. You shoot the closest target available to you. You start to get shot by multiple heroes, and then you deflect to cover, right? And I'm like, okay, yeah, it was a short range off angle. You shot, you deflected, and then you go back to the angle. I mean, that's just objectively good play, right? So then the question here isn't, okay, what's the next step? What's my next angle here? And to be honest with you, this is also good, right? You don't have your deflect, but you do have your dash, and you have full HP. And so as long as you're careful here, that is objectively a bad play, right?
The dash.
Why did you dash here?
Yeah.
Like what was the plan there? Like, is this just a brain fart or what?
I think it was actually. I think I actually, for whatever reason, thought she blinked there.
Oh, I see. Okay, so just a stupid play. Just a stupid. But see, if she recalled there, that's still a stupid play because she's got full HP.
More health.
She has more health, and you do not have your deflect. So she's going to win that resource trade, right? So this is disrespectful. If that's why, let's just pretend, okay? That's a disrespectful play. That's a bad read mechanically. If you had your deflect, if you had pocket, different story. But it's a bad read. So equally skilled Genji, equally skilled Tracer. I don't care if this is, I want to be a Master's Genji, so I should be able to do that. No, because a Master's Genji versus Master's Tracer, that's still a bad play. Grandmaster Genji, Grandmaster Tracer, still a bad play, and so on. So bad play. But shooting the Tracer initially, the initial angle, the close range off angle, good. But you committed your dash on a target in the open without deflect. That's bad. Generally, with what we're reading here. And I would also say here, giving up space here, this is, I won't say cowardice, but this is poor positioning. Because for whatever reason, you won this, okay? So where's the next step? Where's the next angle?
Yeah, like I guess, well, I was thinking go back to the train because that's
You
safety.
can. You
'cause
can.
I don't have either of my cooldowns. So that's why I was like hopping back over there.
Potentially, but they don't really either, right? Like we've earned this space, okay? And you're recharging your cooldown soon. So going back to train is an option. That gives up less space than going here, for sure, right? But there's an even better option given the fact that you've won this angle. Where is it?
Is it up on the right there?
It is. Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a risk that you're going to take this position and Cassidy Juno Kiriko is going to materialize here? Yes. Is it a calculated risk that I'm willing to take? Yes. Take it.
Yeah.
Next step
yeah,
positioning.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
Right.
Like
you've won the 1v1. You've won the 1v1 here. And you don't because she's running away. She's running away. So then you can now improve your angle for later on. So what you would do here is you would do nothing. You just wait. You'd wait for your cooldowns. You'd wait for your HP. You chill. You chill. And then here you can make a decision. You could just AFK here, or you could go 3v1 here.
Yep.
Now, remember, how would you behave on this angle when you see it's a 3v1?
Well, I wouldn't commit the dash.
Correct. Cautiously, respectfully, right? But it would be worth your time. You might even deflect, shoot, whatever, dash out. Fine. That's great. That creates a lot of space for your wins, and that creates a lot of space for your team. Your team is fighting. It's good, right? Yeah. But you do need to progress your positioning if you do win that angle, because you're not close to anything. Now, I appreciate this. You get your cooldowns back, and you do go here. So this is okay. Could be worse.
Yeah.
But here,
yeah.
But see, this is the problem, right? We got here. There's nobody close. We really should commit here. We really should.
Yeah. I think I was thinking that they were coming out of that stairwell.
Right. It feels like they should. It feels like they should, but they're not. So it's okay for you to sniff here. Let me clarify exactly what I mean from like almost like a chess perspective, okay? You are progressing your pawn. Have you ever played chess before?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. You are progressing your pawn to the end of the opponent's board to transition into the queen that you've lost. Now, they shouldn't let you do that. They shouldn't let you do that, right? It's really bad. Very easy to stop. But they haven't. Okay. Your pawn beat their pawn. You just literally have free access to the entire backline. This is what happens in ranked, and at all ranks, right? But especially in mid-low ranks, is that people do not control space very well. Why do I have three people on the same lane? Why has nobody even tried to go here? Why has nobody even tried to go here? I don't know. Not your problem. If the lane's free, just keep going. And so this is what Genji looks like. You take an angle, you shoot what's on the angle, which happened to be Kiriko. Kiriko leaves. Then it was who? Tracer. You win. She leaves. I don't know why. But then it was who? Well, nobody. So you just kept going, and you keep going, and you keep going, and you keep going, and you go here. Because once you get here, this is the most valuable position that you can control. Now, the problem with Overwatch is that you can't always get here. You're not expected to get here because you're going to be fighting Cassidys and Genjis and Tracers and tanks and balls and so on. But if you do, you need to go. So fight for deepening your angle until you run into combat, until you run into basically friction, and then just fight. Fight. Like maybe you're just going to sit here and fight the Tracer for an hour. That's okay. Right? You lose, you back up, you get a little healing, you go back and do it again. And then you guys are just skirmishing for space. Does that make sense? That's Overwatch right there.
Yeah.
That's Overwatch.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, my idea was that obviously, like I said, they were going to push through, and I think I just wanted that closer range rather than I thought they were all going to be gone by now. Like if I was going here, which I am.
Well, because you're slow, right? You're very, very slow. That's why.
Yeah.
You backed off the angle instead of taking it initially, and then when you took it, you were happy to sit here for about 5-6 seconds instead of deepening immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
like I said, I thought they were going to like pop out in front of me there.
Mm-hmm. But your logic's fine. So you know what? Here's the question: if they were going to pop out here. If you were faster here, well, even better. You still have the angle. Now you're not only to the side of them, you're directly behind them and unpunishable. Disaster for them. Disaster for them. You see that? Disaster. What needs to happen is the cognitive direction of I take an angle, I fight the angle, nobody's on the angle, I deepen, slam. No hesitation. No hesitation. And if there's no friction, there needs to be no hesitation. That's the rule. Your reasoning and logic are perfectly clear. I understand 100% what you're saying, and it makes sense. But I want you to install new firmware here that if you're completely unmarked in an angle, you do not hesitate to keep deepening. Okay? That's the rule.
Yep.
Like right here. You're too slow.
Yep.
But this is a god angle for you. And if you wanted to commit your dash for Kiriko here, if you wanted to commit your dash for Juno here, this would be one of those high risk, high reward plays that I would approve of because you've established a perfect setup for it. Now you don't need to because you still have space, right? So you look at this and you're like, oh frick, you know, I lost my. But see, this hurts my feelings so much. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Too far back.
This is a 4v4, right? Now, I understand not initiating here, but we need to start improving our position, taking space, and going again. I mean, this is a 4v4. You guys had all this space, right? So they ended on your monkey, but you guys, besides the Wrecking Ball, had all the space, and you're backing off as if this fight's lost. What are you doing? You're winning this fight.
Yeah, it's like some sort of I don't know how I'd describe it, but I don't like, for whatever reason, taking the exact same angle seconds after I just was there.
Yes,
I
right.
Popping up in multiple
Understandable.
different spots.
Okay, that is the most platinum thing that you've said, but it's logical. Okay?
Right, okay.
Remember, because the platinum concept is a hero identity of psychological warfare, surprise, risk, threat. No. Because what if they're there, right? Remember, you're here. Well, who was here? Kiriko, Tracer. Was there any element of surprise here? Not really, but it didn't matter, right? If you do have a free lane, there's your element of surprise. But what if you don't? Who cares? Go back and do it again. The element of surprise is a luxury that the enemy team will grant you, but you can't control whether they're going to give it to you or not. Maybe they're just smart. You can't just not play the game, right?
Yeah.
So basically, if they know that you're there, that's fine. Then you're providing pressure just by being there. You see what I'm saying? So you either have the element of surprise and they die, or you don't have the element of surprise and they know that you're there, and then you're creating space for your team because they're scared, right? There's no surprise here, right? But this is still valuable. Why?
Short range off angle.
Yeah, you're saying the words. Use your brain though. What's happening? Where are resources from the enemy team going right now?
Well, both DPSs are into me.
Can you live this with the status of your cooldowns?
Yes.
Yes, you can. So what's happening elsewhere? Well, should be happening elsewhere. People living, people coming back, people buying time, controlling space. You understand?
Yeah.
It's simple as that. So if you hold this space here, you don't need the element of surprise here. This is good. This is your angle. Do not die here. Good. Seriously, good. Really good. I know it's not always reflecting on the kill
feed.
feed.
Go out that door again.
Well, okay, so we retook space. We were way too slow. And this is your fault that you're losing this fight, by the way. I want to be very clear. You threw this. But from this point here, close range offhand, on the side, Tracer tries to push it. She needs to, because she can't go for your back line, right? Why? Because what would you do to her, right? You shoot her in the back, right? So she has to deal with you first.
Yeah.
So what happens? You get a nice little right click, you get a dash, you get a deflect, she recalls, she tries to go back, and then now you've taken 2 DPS resources for the price of 1, forced a recall, forced Cassidy out of the fight, and create an opportunity for your team. Now your team fumbled it, you fumbled it, this all sucks. But this is okay. This is okay. So now we're going to do
this time going around the back not as bad because
here?
No, like going through that back door again.
What we just did? Like just disengaging? Again. Like here?
Yeah, see, I went through the back here.
Yeah. Well, this fight's lost now. Like now officially this is arithmetic,
my tank
right?
Was coming in.
Yeah, your tank is in.
Got heaps of time on my cooldowns.
Right. Your Luciu's dead. Your soldier's dead. So that you are, and I'm not hearing combat elsewhere. So you guys are down significantly. We need to back up.
Yeah. Okay.
The problem with the previous time you did this is because it was an even fight, and you just quit.
And there was no reason to back out. Yeah.
Correct. This fight is not even. This is a lost fight.
Well, actually, it would have been a 5v4 if I was there. Yeah.
Well, no, because your tank had died. And then you had killed the Juno, and then you just ran for your life, even though you had space. You had plenty of positioning, so nobody could punish you. And then actually, what happened is you killed their Kiriko too. You actually were up 1 for a brief moment, but you just weren't there, and so their DPS got a couple picks. So, okay, but even like right now, like as our tank's pushing, you're like, well, should my tank be pushing right now? We're kind of down one. It's fine. Start to take space right now. Start to take space. Like take your angle, right? Like that might be.
I normally do just like
Yeah.
chill, 'cause
It might be a hard flank here. It might be, walking in through here and holding space here and just like, but we do need to start taking some space here. Yes. So you see this, right? Like you don't need to kill the Cass. You just need to make sure that he doesn't get this angle for free. And this is high risk, high reward. Is there an engagement happening elsewhere? Yes. Do you have your cooldowns? Yes. Do you see an opportunity? Yes. So if you dash here, I approve. I approve.
Yeah, I do.
I think this is a calculated risk. Right? Good job.
Yep.
And now, this is the important moment though, okay? What's next? Now, I feel like, knowing you, you're going to go here again. You're going to back off, right? Even though you have your dash and HP. But reality is you've won the lane. You just need to not die, okay? So where, then you're like, well, shouldn't I back? Well, no. Where should you go? Where's safety right now?
I could just climb on top of the bus.
And why is this superior? And why is this superior? Still safe. Because you're advancing the angle. Correct. You're getting out and holding space. So that then, but even before you get your deflect, you're already contributing chip damage here. So we're just deepening straight to backline. You earned the right to deepen your angle because you won the 1v1. If you had missed this dash here and he'd rolled all the way and gotten TP Suzu, and you panicked and deflected and climbed out, and the Casty was like sitting over here, you still earned the right to deepen because you forced him out. You won the 1v1. He's not an angle anymore.
Yeah.
Right? So, I'm praying you don't back off. Yes, good. Now, minor detail, right, is you needed to deepen the angle and not pursue the target, right? So do you see how much better this is for the element of, you ready for it? Surprise, right? It's just simply cutting them off better. It's just a better angle rather than approaching directly here. No, I think you're probably going to dash here, which is fine. Again, high risk, high reward. You don't have your deflect, but you're probably okay with it. It's just I didn't like your rotation. I would have allowed a much safer and also more effective rotation by
It was a little too straight.
It was, given what the map allowed you to do. That being said, really fine fight from you fundamentally. Just fine. You took an angle, you fought for the angle with your cooldowns, you made a risk read. Where did that pulse bomb go?
I didn't even know she pulsed there.
Yeah, she did. Oh, she pulsed a tree. I was so confused. I mean, like, I really think somebody needs to call the authorities. That's like really not nice. Okay, maybe not. Maybe we need to find out like like these trees. Like maybe we need to make some like Kevlar armor or something out of that stuff. Like holy crap, But yeah, really solid fundamental fight from you. I mean, it was fine mechanically as well. Like it wasn't like, but it wasn't also like the hardest mechanical thing ever to kill the cast there. You hit like a couple of shurikens. You missed most of them. You didn't even finish the kill, but it was just good fundamental freaking Overwatch, It's good stuff.
Well, I think I did just remember before when we were talking as well. I struggle a lot with when I dash.
Okay, we're good. Yeah.
Whether it's blade or normal like dash, like if I'm dashing them, for example, this tracer here. If I dashed and I hit like that wall there or whatever, even if I stop right next to them, I cannot for the life of me find them. I get lost like 50% of dashes.
Okay, so there's a reason why that's the case. Let me interrupt really quick, okay? Because movement, the closer you are to the target, smaller movements are amplified, right? Because if you think about like if this tracer moves 1 meter to her right now, you barely have to move your crosshair, correct? It's obvious, right? It's just math, right? But when you're on her face and she moves 1 meter to the right, there's a chance that she literally is off your screen entirely. Okay?
Yeah. So that's normally what happens.
So this is what's the takeaway there? Is it a mechanics problem? I mean, obviously you can always get better at tracking these erratic movements, but to be honest with you, it's not really a mechanics problem in the traditional sense. It's more of when you're choosing and how you're choosing to dash. Because when you're going for these dash right-click combos, you need a target moving predictably or a target not moving at all. Do you understand?
Yeah.
So when you go back to this Cassidy here,
pull it out whenever.
The reason why we can criticize your mechanics here, and by criticize, I'm not saying they were bad, but as in like they can always be better, is because the question is was this move from the Cassidy predictable?
Yeah.
Yeah, we know exactly where he's going to go. If he doubles back the opposite direction, that's risky for him. So when you dash, this flick here, there should be very little guesswork about how this Cassidy is going to move. And let's actually watch. You see? Pretty straight line. And so when you under flick here, right, you see where your crosshairs and see where he is? That's not you losing the target. That's you just not being very good at flicking your crosshair over. Or not being bad, just not being good enough. You understand? So I criticize this. However, if you were to go and let's say, you know, like here, dashing the tracer. Do you see how much harder this is?
Yeah.
Now, a good Genji, here's what a good Genji will do. Okay, you want to tell the difference between you and a good Genji here? A good Genji would not right-click here. A good Genji would know that this is going to be a difficult flick and pause. And to be honest with you, maybe you're a good Genji because you did pause there. Did you notice that? It was a longer delay than it was with the Cassidy. Why? Because it's a much more erratic movement. So you know it's going to be harder, so you give yourself more time. Good job. So to go back to your point, sometimes I just lose targets. Well, okay, it's one of two things. One, mechanical, you just need more practice. You need to slow it down. Yeah, the usual answers. But the other one is was that really a good time to go for these one-shot combos? If they're moving erratically, it just might not be a good time. I'm not saying necessarily you shouldn't use your dash, but then you need to purposely tell yourself to slow it down because it's going to be hard. It's not going to be, just immediately pop it and shut. No, they're moving too erratically. So it's going to be impossible. Be ready for that. You know?
Yeah.
Next time you see all these crazy Genji clips, look at the movement of the target that they're going for. Look at how predictable the movement is. Not everyone, but a lot of them. Right? They're easy movements.
That's definitely what the insecurity is coming from.
Yeah.
Seeing so many dudes, because like again, the mechanics focus.
Right.
I'm always comparing myself to stuff I see, and I'm like, how do they just turn and flick and hit everything?
Right. Highlight reels.
They're dead before I've actually even seen them.
Right, but it's because they're good at reading the movement and deciding the timing, and it's still a highlight reel. Like if you've ever seen Lip Widowmaker highlights, right? There's a lot of things really well, and not a lot of them are aiming. Obviously, aiming is exceptional, but it's the other details that other people don't notice. Crosshair placement is usually almost always perfect with Lip. Another good guy to watch for crosshair placement is Tree. You know Tree, the American DPS player.
I think so, yeah.
Anyway, long story short, amazing crosshair placement. So his flicks are almost always strictly lateral. And almost never has to aim up or down, which makes his flicks easier. You understand? I'm talking about Widowmaker, Sojourn here, right? I know, and then he's also really good at reading movement patterns and predicting movement patterns. So he kind of lets the enemy team or the enemy hero, he'll peek an angle and he'll let them panic and move, and then that makes his next shot easier. He scares them, and then he doesn't take the shot immediately. He kind of scares them and then reads their first strafe. You get what I'm saying? So you would, for example, think about it this way. Let's say this is a Cassidy. He'd jump out, shoot shurikens, and then see what the Cassidy would do. Either wide swing or a swing towards cover, more likely, and then he would dash instantly off of that first movement and then go for his one shot. Do you see what I'm saying? Now you're like, man, that's a lot to think about. Yes, it is, which is why we're not going to worry too much about it. But I am going to highlight that as this is why it feels easier for these guys, because it isn't just about dash right clicking, right? Because you're going to do Vaxta, you're going to do that 60-second warm up thing, and you're going to annihilate those bots half the time. And half the time you're going to lose them entirely because they're going to choose randomly to strafe at the exact moment that you dash in, and you're going to lose them.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be challenging, right? But that's also how it works in real game too. It's all about reading. It's not just about the ability to track the target after the dash. It's about understanding that the timing of the dash around their movement or their awareness can make that follow-up easier, if that makes sense. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
If you go for Juno right now, okay, so let's say you go for Juno right now. If you dash perfectly, is this going to be an easy ult fire? Look at her body language. Look at her attention. Think about the context of the fight right now. Is she going to respond to you dashing at her?
No, because she doesn't really have a choice.
Okay. But where is she going to move to? Do you understand what I'm saying? If she does move. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, she's in the air, so it's even harder.
Right. So there's a part of me that says she's a little bit unaware of you right now, like she's not responding, but also her movement's gonna be so unpredictable, it might be really challenging. Yeah. So if you go for this Juno, I would not go for this Juno. I mean, we're ignoring the obvious context of like your deflect is down and this is just dumb, right? But like, let's say just for the vacuum, like this would be really hard. But then, do you see how she's moving towards cover right now?
Yeah.
If you were to be stupid or to get nano or something right now, this would be a much easier combo because you know where she's going to be going for the next 1 second. She's going to keep backing up. So you're going to dash and you're going to 180 towards here, not 180 towards here. You understand? That's the difference.
Yeah.
So she's creating the combo for you, not you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty reasonable cycle there. Some nice little bit of tanking. And also, just bless you for actually retaking space without cooldowns. I understand that this can be scary. I'm not asking you to take engagements. I'm just asking you to start taking space. And like, let's say you start to get here and you start to hear Cassidy boots. Don't peek it, but just think about it. You know? Maybe throw a shuriken and drop. Wait a second. But you need to...
You ton of game where that happens.
Yeah. You need to be in the position to where, like, as soon as you get cooldowns, you're in the right position. Not, now I have cooldowns, now I can start taking space. No, it's like at that point, it's already too late. So that kind of goes back to one of your questions earlier in our notes, right? Which is like, off of my cooldown cycles, I feel like I'm messing my timing with my team. It's because you're probably not doing what you're doing right now, which is waiting for cooldowns. Nobody's here. I can deepen my angle. So the second that I get my cooldowns in 2 seconds, I'm already staged to apply pressure. You see? This is really good. Yeah. This is really good. And if you were contested here, well, you just wait. You would just wait, right? It's fine. It's a difficult angle for you, but you're doing a good job. And obviously a target provides itself and you still force resources, you still force attention. And crucially, you also kind of tank for your team, which I don't always recommend, but you did have a nice cycle earlier in this fight, which forced some cooldowns, which allowed your team to clean up. And then now, yeah, this is great. Good fight. Really, probably one of our better fights so far. Maybe our best fight in terms of cycling.
Yeah, this VOD definitely felt like it was going good at the start.
Yeah. But do you notice that we haven't said a single thing about damage, right? Nothing about damage has been brought up. Or stats.
Yeah.
And you look at this comp and you're like, I'm either killing Cassidy or just tickling Kiriko Juno. Like, it's really hard. Those hitboxes are slender. Tank, I can't really play patty cake with. It's a freaking Tracer. So, like, I mean, most of my duels versus Tracer take forever. I'm doing like 4 DPS, It's fine. Just the nature of the comp. It's not your problem, right?
Yeah.
Okay. This angle's fine. I would try. Yeah, see, this is a mistake, right? You really don't need to be getting your deflect force, especially to second cooldown before the fight starts. This is just sloppy.
I'm chronically petrified of Cass.
Yeah.
I know I shouldn't be.
Well, okay. No. But see, that's not the problem. The problem here is that you throw a primary fire, and you throw another primary fire, and you throw another primary fire. I mean, you weren't even looking at Cass, right? Like, come on. Like, what are we getting out of this, right? Like, what? Right? You've been so good with this up to this point. This is just momentum. This is just sloppiness kind of creeping in because we're getting a little bit relaxed, right? It's just poor Overwatch right here. Because now, instead of kind of cautiously holding this angle, you can kind of fight in this window. Now you pretty much just entirely have to bail, and you might still die, right? You see this, like, completely losing space. Instead of sitting here with deflect, maybe we can still win this. You've just left entirely.
Yep.
Pre-fight, cooldown force because you're being stupid with your peaks. That's it.
So it would be just before I did deflect there, it would be better to do the primary fire poke still, or would it be better to try and take
it once, sure, but do not get your deflect force because this is just a bit of scouting, a little bit of poke, a little bit of scouting, right? Okay.
Yeah.
But that should never force a cooldown. If it does, you're screwing up.
So it's more like it wasn't an early deflect. It was more the fact that I have 2 ranged characters now looking at me because I'm taking the ranged angle.
Yeah, you could argue that probably didn't need the deflect there if you're just a little bit faster ducking behind cover. But I will ignore that and say the fact that, yeah, you probably shouldn't have even gambled with whether I should need or not need deflect there because you already peaked. You already threw primary fire. You already had full scouting. You should be thinking, okay, do I want to stay here? Okay, no more here. I should probably back off to here. Do I want to play here? Or what? Maybe I want to go. Like, these are the conversations that you need to be having and not, let's just see if I can fish for a deflect before the fight starts. Like,
yeah.
It's just lazy. Like, you still don't have your deflect. You just now got it. And you're down 2. Yeah. This fight's over. So I would just full bail here. Yeah. It's a really common mistake for Genji. but it's just really inexcusable. Okay. Ah, frick me, man. Just terrible, because you need this so badly, you know? Like, you desperately need to move where right now?
Like, straight ahead in that room.
Yep, you got it. Take space here, but now it's like... I mean, we talked about taking space without CDs being a legitimate strategy here, but you are missing a lot of HP here. Yeah, so this is good. This is good. But you see how much worse this feels? Like, there is a chance that this just doesn't work. And it just feels like it should. Like, your Hog is getting smoked right now, as is your Kiriko, and that's all your fault. Like, you should be all over these guys right now. And you're just so late because you got your deflect force. Good blade. Very nice blade, actually. Good patience with your deflect. Really good staging as well. I mean, I want to talk about this blade just a little bit because as badly as horrendous as you've looked here, this was really nice. And I want to talk about the three things that you did really well here. First thing was you took an angle, right? You were unmarked on the angle. So what did you do?
Deepen.
You just deepened until you hit somebody. And then you go, you know what? Let's do this. So you throw shurikens, you dash, you get over her head, which buys you just a little bit of time during the unsheathing. And then you are looking right at the target so that if you need to deflect sleep dart here, you can very easily. You know? So there's a lot of space can be created off this blade, even if you don't kill a single target. Then you go one, pick your next target, and you stay locked in on that Cassidy. No distractions. Sojourn might as well not exist. Junkrat might as well not exist. One target, nice and slow. Then you go, okay, everybody's looking at me, just deflect, I'm okay. And then you finish off the next target. It's just a perfect blade from that. Just really should be proud of yourself for that one. Just really well done. Wasn't super flashy, but was just executed all the right things. You took an angle, you deepened the angle, you set up your blade, you had your deflect, and you just patiently annihilated one target at a time, and then deflected when everybody was looking at you. Now, if that had changed, if Ana had been full HP here, you definitely would have needed to chop deflect. Definitely. No questions. Right?
Yeah.
And you probably would have sat there for 2 or 3 seconds looking like an idiot. But guess what? Your team's going to obliterate them during that window of time.
Yeah.
And then you're still probably going to be able to dash in and finish off the Cassie or go for the Ana or Sojourn or whatever else. Or whatever else. Like, you're going to win the fight off that blade no matter whether that Ana's full HP or not. That blade was set up was too good. You had your deflect. It's just impossible for your team to win there. Impossible. Great job.
Yeah, it did feel really good.
Yep. Timing was great.
And those are the blades that I try to always do, obviously.
Yeah.
The next one's absolutely atrocious.
Well, we'll look at why. We'll look why.
I know why.
Okay, well, we'll talk about then what kind of encouraged you to do
have
that.
A blade pulled at that time ever.
All right, well, we'll take a look. But yeah, we need to be taking space here. Don't get your deflect forced early, and let's not forget that this came off of getting your deflect force pre-fight again, and that's why you were almost very late to the party there, right? So, bit of a problem. So this is what we call high risk, high reward, because you didn't have to peek this aggressively, but you did have your deflect, you had your cooldowns, the angle is also really good, and you are timing it well, right? Because there is pressure here, and on paper, there should be pressure here, and there is. This reminds me a lot of what I was asking you to do here. Do you remember? Nobody's marking your angle. You just take this top, you shoot a couple of shurikens, you deflect in their face, and you see what happens. And guess what? Good things happened. Like, this was great from you, right? Like, this is what Genji's all about, right? So Ana's out. Juno is pocketing. Cassie's giving up space. Queen goes out to push you out, and they're still not peeking right now. They're still not peeking, so we're still moving card. And you still have the angle. Great job. Those little moments there where you take an angle, you shoot some shurikens in their face, you deflect, you hold space, reminds me a little bit of first fight, kind of what you did with the Kiriko, and then duck back behind cover. That's what Genji's all about. I know it's not flashy all the time, but that's exactly what your Hog needs, is stuff like that, right? Where you can take some pressure off.
That's what I enjoy about the character.
Yeah, it's good. Able to do that. Even here, right? Like, you don't have your deflect, so you're being cautious, but you still have an angle. You still have a bit of a crossfire. You're being a bit of a nuisance. There's Knife. And then now, crucially, what can you do now?
Well, I was thinking doing the same thing, or
Yeah, sure.
Now that
do
I
it
can see
again.
her.
You could do it again.
Yeah.
Like you don't see the Juno, and like even if you did, but yeah, just go do it again. Go do it again. Right?
Yeah.
You've got the cooldowns, right?
So no
Go do
Ana's
it.
scoped in. So if I pop up in front of her face,
Right, and even if she's not, even if she plays this one well, it doesn't matter. You have the advantage here. You're gonna cause a lot of chaos and a lot of stress. She just used her nade, and she's like, she knows she's fricked. She's running. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Really well done from you. Good. Take the mega, go back, see what you can do. So now we need to go back, right? Don't give up too much space and see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, this is good. So I know this feels like, oh gosh, like, oh, really? Was that good? Yes, it was. Yeah. Very winnable fight for your team. Yeah, you got pre-fighted by, your Lucio got pre-fighted. You were fighting in one of the worst spots of the entire point. Your team didn't make any plays. But yeah, but seriously, like you forced definitely a favorable ult trade for you guys. Sojolt for Hog. You guys went 2 for 2. We're still holding space. Yeah, this is a great fight from you. Good job. And the thing is, like we said, you're still holding space, right? Like this queen could just overextend a little bit. So yeah, you're good. There it is. Right? Still suffering from success right now, right? Good job. Take the lane, take the angle.
Like a few sessions ago, or maybe I don't know when it was, but it was obviously not the one where we were on call. But I said something like, I want to try and get into the habit of doing the stuff that no one really feels good doing, but actually like kind of being happy that I've done it.
Take some pride
like
in that,
exactly
right?
what you were just saying then.
Yeah.
And I think that has really paid off. Like
good.
Because that thing that I did before, I love doing that.
Yeah, I had a conversation yesterday with a tank player, a Masters tank player, and we were talking about that, like taking pride in doing the honest, good work that wins games, right? The thankless jobs, right? Like the forcing of cooldowns, the holding of angles, sometimes tanking, right? Like if you think about this here, you kind of were the tank at the start of this fight, right? To kind of now, did you need to consciously make the choice to be tank? No, you just need to take the angle and shoot. But sometimes you're going to get a lot of attention, and just you're not going to be able to get any kills. But that was good. That was a great play, and that's why you guys are still in this, right? So didn't do that again, right? And if you're able to kind of identify with, I am the guy that does all the clever, creative, thoughtful, strategic stuff that's not super flashy, but can still do the flash things available, and you could find like a sense of satisfaction in that. That's awesome, right? Because that's going to win you games, right? Like this the last like 30-45 seconds have been really nice, but now we need to do it again. Yeah, you can tell. Like this is the reason why I'm critical of this, is that it's too far, and it's also like, even if you do get the kill here, I don't like how we're approaching this fight. We're Ozempicing, right? This really needs to be poking out, controlling the space here, carts rolling up. We want to be right in the same spot, right?
Yeah.
So it's that front line deflect again. I'm not going to say that's a stupid play, because I saw it, right? Like everybody saw it, right? I'm just going to nitpick it because it's like, why did you see this Cassidy? You know, it's almost like that you were tempted because you saw Cassidy, and you saw Cassidy because where are you right now? Where should you be taking space right now? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, should be on that Ana.
You should be dashing or whatever to here, getting to here, and then all of a sudden, if you wanted to go for it, you're in a much better spot for it. Full cooldowns, full angle, and they don't even see you, right? So yeah, just food for thought. It's not a horrible play. I understand, but it is just like fundamentally not sound Overwatch.
Yeah.
See, I don't even like this here, because like I'm looking at this right now, and like I'm like, I kind of want you to hold this space here if you can, just so that your team, because your team is gonna be back pretty soon, and if your Hog lives, there's a chance. But like as soon as you use your deflect here, you really like, it is a little scary to hold here, and you certainly can't be as aggressive holding this space here. Do you see what I'm saying? It's just another one of those. You got your deflect force on a distance. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not bad deflecting a Cassidy. It's just bad that you got your deflect forced by a Cassidy when you really weren't doing anything. That's the problem.
Yeah, the deflecting the range characters so I can get a bit more
I mean,
damage
same
from
thing
range
here. Like, what's the plan?
wasted
You know,
time.
what's the plan?
Yeah.
You know, you're down your Hog, so either you need to be backing off, or you need to be opening wide on an angle and kind of holding your deflect and being patient. And we're just playing.
I feel naked out here.
It is. It's just terrible, right? It's just, there's no reason for you to even take that risk. Either take space.
And that I
carefully,
remember doing that, and I was like, this feels shit. Like,
yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Okay. Checking our Hog's position. Ooh. High risk, high reward. This is fine. Just go for it. Yeah, I mean, it's just like he's an idiot, but also expose 1v1 on your angle, gap close, full cooldowns, full HP. I mean, GG's, right? Skill check, right? Skill check, right? And those are skill checks that, like, that's not it. That if a GM champion, Genji, GM champion Cassidy, probably 55-60% in Genji's favor there, right? Right? Like, so, like, he didn't have any range on you. You committed quickly. You're fine.
Yeah. It was more the fact that he was alone. Like, I saw those supports.
You don't need to be here. Thank you. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it now. Do it now.
I do it too late. I do it way too late.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so this is the problem, right? So, like, right now, stage display for me perfectly. Right now, do
I should have dashed up a bit more. Yeah, like high. Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Dashed up, pulled it, and then tried to fall on her if she slid.
And then read. And when I say read, I mean, is she going to look at you? If she's not, she's dead.
Yeah.
If she does deflect, and then she's dead anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. You got it. You got it.
Dashed into a taxi.
Yeah. This is just where it's like, do I need my blade? Just use it. Just use it. Because remember, with blade, the setup aspect is so difficult that you need to, every time you get an opportunity to blade, when you're up one, down one, or even, you need to take it. You need to take it. You're even right now, you need to take it. Because you don't, blade always takes that like little bit of extra effort, and you're not always going to get nice, clean setups like this, right? So you just need to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, you know, it's a disaster. But it's a disaster because you just needed to set it up and pull it, right? It wasn't like a dumb idea, fundamentally.
Yeah, it was. It was the hesitation of, should I play this?
Good play. Deflect. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yeah, good play. Good play. Good play. Nice job. Good job. Good. All right, go back and do it again. Need to be decisive. Where's the next step? Next position, right? Nobody's on this lane. Where do you go?
Well, my idea is just jump down or poke from above up here.
Right. But with the rules deepen usually, right? So I would probably commit even my dash to here, or commit my dash to here and then read from this position here. You see what I'm saying? But just kind of like keep moving, right?
Yeah,
just
definitely try not to dash everywhere.
So dash is fine as long as you're dashing to an angle or a position usually. Or gap closing on an isolate, right? So it's fine.
Like if I were to dash there and then she pushes me.
Right, she's fricked. Like right. I mean, anybody pushes you, even 2v1, 3v1, you should be able to deflect and live for a reasonable period of time. It's not always going to be the case, but more often than not, you're probably fine.
Yeah, okay.
And this is just ridiculous. So I like the play here to fall back, though, and then maybe to go for the trade.
Yeah, I was kind of just thinking he just killed two. And the tank's
this is high risk, high reward, but like I honestly don't think this is terrible. Probably fine. It just
if I hit more shots, it'd be
more
dead,
shots. If your Kiriko was better to help there, like you had the dash perk as well, so you're getting a little of the tickies there. It's all right. It's just a thing. Poor choices from you, poor plays from you, and poor plays from you and your team have kind of put you in this position. But like I don't think this is like a terrible idea. You do need to be taking some space here now, though. Thank you. And like this, there needs to be like a timer in your brain. You know, when you come on to spawn here, you need to stop this. You cannot be here. Yeah, you got to be like here, which I wouldn't recommend, or I'd just be open immediately. Like, sure, use your deflect, go.
All
don't sit here, right? Like, you need to be here now, and then here, and then here, and then Merry Christmas, right? We're just so slow. Urgency. It's not about uptime. It's not about uptime, right? And then just, we don't ever deflect. I don't think the play was bad there. You were just late. Can we live? No, we cannot live. I think we're fricked. Yeah. I mean, not the worst Genji in the world, really, the last half.
Just
close. It's just, it's like just a couple of consistent errors, even when things were going well, that just kind of caught up with you. And to be honest with you, it's just, this is what happens when you play Roadhog in ranked. You know, you need to take short range off angles. You need to improve your deep in your angle. You need to be disciplined, and you need to stop pre-fight deflecting. Mechanically, it's okay, and then just use your freaking blade, right? But this is okay. This is okay. If you play like this more consistently with like this level of intent, I see why you hit diamond, right? This is fine. This is fine. Okay, let's keep going. We're gonna do some live coaching. We could look at another code. Totally up to you. Obviously, we got plenty of time.
We'll do another code.
Okay, let's take a look.
Yeah. This is actually going really well. So,
Okay.
and I think if we do get to the last one, I've got a better code than that.
Okay.
Nothing about
It's sometimes okay to look at bad codes at least briefly, just to be like, hey, this is what you look like when you're not chewing 5-gum. Maybe that means the American. But yeah, this is what you're looking like when you're tired. Basically, like it's not good, right? So, okay, let's take a look here. Take an angle. I think I prefer height, just as a generic rollout. But really, you could do either one. I mean, this is good space for you too.
I do have a disclaimer here. I forgot that Vendetta even existed. This was after the break, so I forgot that was a character. This is like the worst opening to a game ever.
It's fine. But yeah, the way to look at this here, so it's the same process, right? You're very, very late to the angle. So like, shame on you. What the frick is going on here? Why aren't we using our dash? Why are we scratching our nose? Like we're like taking a bath, doing the dishes. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, you're so freaking late. However, you took a lane. Nobody's on this lane, which is really bad for the enemy team because it means that there's like no space. You see it, right? There's just no space control whatsoever, which then means that you get this lane for free. Now, this is where things can get tricky. This is a bit far from you, but you're completely uncontested on the lane, so you can kind of just spam primary fire and be a nuisance and just hold this lane and it's fine.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if you do see an opportunity, you can get to here. And you could get to here from around here if you'd like, or you can even commit your dash and go to here and then just deflect and drop and see what happens. That's also very useful. So it's up to you. Wrong person.
Yeah.
Wrong blade character. But you can kind of see it here. It's like, wow, this is actually not too shabby. And then now Vendetta's here because she wants to fight you. And you just misplay it terribly. That's basically it. You need to deflect, you need to dash. The way to play versus Vendetta, shoot her in the freaking face and either deflect, dash, or dodge her overhead. Because besides that, she's a tickle monster. She just doesn't do any damage at all.
I forgot that she has the overhead.
Yeah. So we're gonna ignore that. Like it's a mechanical misplay. If she doesn't hit overhead,
that was exactly right. Like I was like, oh, she can't hurt me. And then she hit me with the
bam.
friggin-
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Now the good news is that from a positional standpoint, this is really good. Like you easily win this 3v1 because there's nobody on this lane. She's gonna die anyway. Should. Your team sucks. Okay. She definitely should have died. And then from here, well, then you just would have killed her and then just deep into here. And then like you have the entire map and this fight's lost for the enemy team. So yeah, just a mechanical misplay. The rotation from you is fine. Let's take a look. Yeah, left is fine. You've got all sorts of options. Patience waiting for your team. I like the high ground approach here. High risk, high reward. Isolated target. You have set the stage perfectly. Full cooldowns, full HP. Good timing. Even the little vertical angle. So your dash is easier and his shots are harder. This is just great. This is great. This is great. If you lose this duel, it's not your fault. Let's put it that way. You're just mechanic stink, right?
Yeah. I should have primary fired that really.
Maybe not, but yeah. So if we look at this mechanically, this is your early game, right? Early game. Right? So intense here.
Yeah.
Just smooth, slow it down a little bit. I mean, we've talked about this before in our replay reviews, right? Just slow it down. Slow it down. We don't need to be firing at max speed. You dash to steal the mini, and then he has to leave. So just basically, it's the same old, same old. Relax. It's not a sensitivity issue. It's just we need to slow things down. That could be something that we practice. So like when you worry about your mechanics and your sensitivity, the main takeaway for me is going to be you need to be deliberate with your dash placement, which you said is something that you struggle with. And then you need to be deliberate with slowing down and being accurate with your tracking. Really.
Yeah.
So like if you want to worry about your mechanics, worry about your smooth aim. Seriously. And nothing else. Not your sense.
I watched your mechanics video that you brought out recently.
Yeah.
And you're saying that to focus more on just the red, like the person's jumping around, that is a red person's jumping around, just literally lock in on that and hit that.
Yes.
And when I do that, which it's kind of hard to turn on, but when you do that, it really does help. Like even in Vaxstar, if I just block everything else out and I just follow that red person jumping around, it helps.
Yes. It's not hard to do. It's hard to maintain because it's extremely attention it's like your NOS, you know, it's like super hard. So you really can't maintain that for more than like half a game or one game. Very difficult, right? So like that's going to be something you can keep queuing yourself on, but don't be too hard if you can't maintain it. But I would queue yourself on that for sure.
Yeah.
You know, but from the fundamental standpoint, slow down your aim, whatever. But this is great. Like this approach was well done. You played it well. You stole many. You dash committed. You just win the lane. So good job, and you kept your deflect. So then now, you know, we could throw some shurikens here, sure. But I would prefer us to do this, right? Oh, okay. Lane's free. Now what? What's the rule? Talked about New Queen Street.
Yeah, if I'm not being checked, then I can just keep going.
Just to keep going, right? Like if there's nobody close, then you close the gap, wrap the circle around. So this is the problem, right? You skinny it.
Should have
right?
gone one more.
Yeah, you skinny it, right? You need to open here and then dash here and then shoot, deflect, wrap. This is how you win front line trades, right? With Genji, right? If so, like, you know, obviously you need to deflect that, but now we're in a serious problem, right? Where like our deflect has been forced for no particular reason. And now he has an opportunity to push us. You see what I'm saying? Now, the good news is that if we lose this duel, because we've done everything else right up to this point, their Vendetta still dies, their Zen still dies, their Ram's cooldowns have been messed up, Lamp has been forced, you guys can still create an opportunity, Moira probably kills the soldier, and so on, you probably still win this fight because you played good, honest Overwatch. The good news is that your macro understanding also put you in an angle where for him to punish you, quote unquote, he had to walk into your effective range. And this is how it goes. Flick. And you notice that you gave yourself that extra quarter of a second to aim that 180.
Yeah.
Right? Because we didn't really know what his movement was going to be like. And he loses. Good job. Nice tracking. Good job. This is why I'm always saying smooth for you, is because sometimes your tracking looks okay. It's normal to have inconsistent mechanics, and really nobody's ever smooth perfectly. But there are moments where things look a little bit worse when you're under a little bit more pressure to like, I have to do it. Just relax, you're fine. Like right now, right? Like this is like, you look gold, right? This is a train wreck. Just relax. Find cover, you're okay. You know, and so it's just a train wreck, right? So like the mistake really
threw me off.
Well, the vortex threw you off, but the mistake really started here. Like, we needed to just walk away. I don't know why we're wall climbing. We just need to back off and find our next angle. You know, that's it. But yeah, we're not going to nitpick with it. It's just poorly played mechanically from you, and that's gonna make things ugly for sure. Where do you need to be?
Not here.
Correct
Either
answer.
Left or right, probably
Correct.
left better. Though.
Probably left better, but yeah, either one's fine. Yep, good job. Not about uptime. It's about urgency.
And probably even could go.
Probably, yeah, you probably could. But I do understand your concern here. You're like, oh, do I really want to deepen left here? Where's my Doomfist going?
Deflect didn't really know where anyone on
and so deflect is fine. Like, it's okay. The angle control from you is good. Probably just back off. Yep. Yeah, this is just, oh no, I got my deflect forced early because I couldn't really read my Doomfist. I back off from the angle. The good news is that I still think it was the correct play. Okay, so this is why we front lane deflect. Because 1 in 1,000
Did you see how cool that was?
1 in 1,000 times, you're like, oh, that felt so good. I mean, to be honest with you, given where you are right now, I do think you have to deflect. But what I would do here is I would not push.
Now
I would disengage, let them cap the point. Who cares? Retake the angle, grab the mini, wait for your Doomfist to grab Mega, and then you're gonna win this fight. No problem.
Yeah,
like you just need to.
dash that.
There's no need to dash this. So this is the unnecessary risk. But the reason why we're critical of this is why? Is it because you're being too aggressive? No, it's a misread of simple mathematics. What's wrong with your screen right now?
It's a 3v1.
It's a 3v1. Where's your deflect? Well, obvious. What's the status of their HP? Well, obvious. And that's it.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
I don't care about point. I just don't care. If you had deflect here, I still probably wouldn't do this, but the odds would be more in your favor. You know?
Yeah. To make it worse, I wasn't even thinking about point here. It was more like...
Yeah, it's just it's the bloodlust is what it is. It's bloodlust. It's like, oh, it feels so good, right? So yeah, poorly done from you. Really poorly done. But reasonable deflect, reasonable angle control. Good job not dying to Vendetta. It's better to lose the angle than to die because you still kill her. She got the angle for free and kills Yana, and that's a big play for her. Like, that's a good play for her. But it's at least you avoided the worst case scenario of dying to the Vendetta on the angle, and then she still gets the kill on Yana. You see the difference, right? So the reality of Overwatch is if you lose an angle, it is better than dying because you can always refight that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
I just wouldn't be doing this, right? I would be thinking, okay, don't get your deflect for us. Let's think about how can I take this space. Let's wait for my rat. Maybe migrate to here. Chill. Maybe double jump, climb here. Maybe the Vendetta and Ram pushes me, so I dash out again. Just like, this is just so silly, right? This is just so silly.
Yeah.
You're waiting, so let's cautiously, surreptitiously, strategically take some space. Almost kind of like what you're doing here, right? But the problem is that you don't have your cooldowns anymore, so we really can't take space anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it's just stupid. Be deliberate. What are we doing? Where are we going?
Yeah.
Like, even this, right? Like, this is kind of to your point earlier of like, I'm waiting for my cooldowns. I'm trying to stage. No, you're not. You're an idiot, right? You're just a fool, right? This angle here is not a bad idea. It's creative. But this needed to have been done here.
Yeah.
While you're waiting anyway. Investing. Again, it's that urgency, not the uptime that's needed. Urgency with setup. Urgency with angle. Urgency so that when the fight starts, there's no staging from you. You're already ready to go, right? Or at the very least, if they're gonna, like, for example, if you were to dash here and they all drop and chase you, and then you can just deflect and run away, you know, okay, that's fine. Like, that was really expensive for them to chase you there, right? Or like, I'm gonna stage here, everybody came running after me and I dashed out. That's okay. Like, that's probably a bit of a risk for them, right? This is just so easy, right? To force your cooldowns here, right? We got to be way more strategic, more deliberate with what we're doing.
Yeah.
And this is like not a bad play, but it's a bad play now. You really just need to walk here and go from here. It's too long. It's just going to take way too long. Because Diaper Rash 6-7 is already dead, you know, and we just hate to see that, right? Yeah. Like, this is fine.
I didn't see that.
But, you know, took us too long. Good. High risk, high reward. You failed, but not a bad play. Really?
Yeah, half a second early in melee, and I would have won.
Yeah. I mean, you had your deflect. You were a little slow with the dash, but yeah, man, it's all right. It's all right. You guys should still win this. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reads where you're kicking yourself, but you're not kicking yourself because of the idea. The idea was fine. Totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good.
Crazy how you can do a good play, like, and then 2 seconds later do a bad play, and then 2 seconds after that back to good again.
You know why, right?
Because I'm high plat.
well, yes. I mean, you're looking at it and being like, well, the reason why the car is not fast is because it's not a Ferrari. Well, congrats, you know, Einstein. The reason why is because it's hard to do that, to maintain that level of intent.
Yeah,
and
every
play. And it's very easy to fall back into what's basic, what's familiar, what's generic, and to go to you. Okay, fine, we'll use your example. Because you're high plat, low diamond, your fallback generic autopilot isn't great. You need more energy to play at a level to consistently look okay strategically. Now, the good news is that the more effort that you play, unlike a car engine, you're adaptable. Your autopilot is going to start looking more like high plat rather than mid plat the more that you train, or low diamond, right? And like, there's a lot of plays here that have been kind of autopiloted but haven't looked terrible, right? Like, for example, this was terrible strategically, but you didn't die, and you did retake an angle here, right? You did.
Yeah.
Right? And then you snapped out of it. You took a way too sloppy of an angle, but it was a good, interesting, high risk, high reward play. And then you looked really good mechanically for like the next little bit. I mean, even the bat play, that was just a great play from him. It wasn't a bad play from you. So, you know, like, you kind of salvage things, but you're just not consistent with it. And that's kind of the key thing. It's like the difference between Grandmaster players and plat players is not necessarily the consistency. The difference is that the baseline versus the ceiling is just higher.
Yeah.
You know, so that their baseline looks more like your peak, right?
Yeah.
So they're inconsistent exactly like you are most of the time, with some exceptions. But like, for example, like right now, you know, you're asking yourself, you know, are we fighting here? Are we not fighting here? And in my head, I'm thinking, why are we not taking space on left side? right? Like, why are we not wall climbing, doing our little funny thing, getting to here, so that just in case we do want to go, I'm in a position to go, but I'm not like hard committing down main, right? But
Yeah.
that takes a
I
little
guess
bit of
this kind of feels just like too far forward.
it does, but that's why
No,
we go
like-
to the side, and we don't go here.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And so you raise up my point exactly, which is that it's not super intuitive to think about this particular section. It's a little awkward. It's probably not a position that you've used very often, right? That's why you're not using it, because you're a plat player or a diamond player. A masters or grandmaster Genji player would have more familiarity and be more comfortable taking space here. But it's not easy.
Yeah.
You're just not good enough to think about that. But that's what we're challenging you
Yeah.
to do, is in these situations be like, okay, can I take space safely? If so, where? If you dash in here and be like, well, I can dash and I can deflect, I can hide under here, this is the wrong play. But I applaud your attempt at trying to solve the problem. You understand what I'm saying? So this is kind of what we're looking
Yes.
at. It's like, where's my next position? Where's my next angle? Where's my next? I'm trying to deepen. I'm trying to take space without dying. How do I do that, right? You know, you dash here and then Ram vortexes you and then you die and you're like, shoot. Like, it's fine. You learn something from this. This is just, you recognize the problem, but you don't know what to do about it, so you do nothing. That's the problem here. You kind of see what I'm saying? You have to do something.
Yeah.
You have to. Doesn't need to be anything aggressive. You just need to do something. And we just didn't do anything. And so that's the main problem here.
I think I was playing just conservative, like, oh, I've got blade, I'm just gonna hang back and
Yeah,
use it if they push,
yeah. I
which
agree.
I do a lot. I save blade for when they make a play forward.
See, that's the problem, right? Like, look at
Yeah.
the thing about like that new Queen Street blade and the one that you failed afterwards, but you had the potential for. What was the similarity between those two blades? What was good about those two blades on paper?
I mean, like, well, I want to say the timing, but obviously the timing.
Sure, of course the timing
late,
was. Well, the second one was
more
late,
like-
but go ahead.
Yeah, I think. Well, I knew what I was kind of getting into. With
Yeah.
it.
Let's
sort of
contrast it
thing,
with what you
and-
just said there. Were you waiting for something to go for the blade? No. You set it up.
exactly,
You fought for it. Now, if you had gone on those flanks that you did and were fighting Tracer, Moira, or whatever, maybe you don't get an opportunity to blade. But you do have to at least try to set it up. Like, if you go to here, and you go here, the angle that we were talking about, and you walk to here and you shoot shurikens, and then everybody and their mother comes after you here, and you got to dash out. Okay, all right. Okay. Okay. So what?
Yeah.
But you have to at least set yourself in a position to where you can blade, right? You have to take some intent. And so you're waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting until instead of creating your own solution.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
problem.
that in that particular scenario, that's exactly where I'm really caring about the point, because it's so close to being ticked
Right.
over.
Yeah, but win the fight.
Like-
Win the freaking fight. Do you know how you lose the point there? Your
Yeah.
Doomfist overextends because there's no follow-up. He dies, and they get a miracle touch with Vendetta, and then you lose. And then you'll blade 4v5 and lose, and,
Yeah.
win the fight.
Yeah. That
Win the
definitely
fight.
happened.
Play honest Overwatch, Take your angle, take your space, continue. Trust your teammates, Okay. Once again, we are late. This is fine. Because we were late, this was our angle. I mean, we really kind of wanted to go here, and it would have been better to go here. But I guess because we're late, we caught somebody with their pants down.
I actually think positionally I do play pretty interestingly, or at least in a fun way, for most of this point.
Well, you say that, and then you fumble the bag badly. Okay, so
Yeah, no, a little bit later in the point.
So well, positionally is what I'm talking about here, right? It's like positionally, this is actually really good. You control in this lane. This is your angle, 2v1. Okay. You shoot, you deflect. Okay. What do you need to do right now? Please? What do you need to do? Leave. Back to cover. You have officially, the door is closed. This is a high risk, medium, low reward option. You see no cooldowns. He's full HP. You're cooked.
Yeah.
This is 2v1. What are you doing?
Yeah, I kept walking forward.
Come on. And then you dash
just
back to your
stayed where I was
team
and dashed
in the
back.
middle of Guam. You should be dead there.
Yeah.
You should absolutely be dead there. Just a horrific
Yeah,
play from
yeah, I
you.
got lucky.
So
Yeah.
good initial push here. Like, this is really good. He should have died. Unfortunate, not a big deal. This is great. Like, you could
feel like-
hold these guys for like hours, right? Hours. Deflect, shoot, hide, go back, duck. Oh, he pushes you. Dash to the high ground. Drop back, go back, push him again. Like, you could keep these guys gate kept into a wall for forever. Forever. I'm curious why your
Yeah,
Ana
it's more
died.
just like even.
I
even
knew this
from
is
that
why your
angle
Ana
too.
died. By the way, I knew this is why your Ana died. Look what she's trying to do.
Heal
She's
me.
thinking about you. She's thinking about you. She dies almost with both cooldowns, right? Just horrendous.
What a
Horrendous.
sweetheart.
I know. I know. It's like grandma giving away her, freaking social security annuity and, instead of cancer medication, Come on, man.
To some Japanese
Who are you?
scammer.
Seriously, dude. Good deflect. Good little bit of mechanical play. It's a bit greedy, but the difference here is what? What's the difference? It's still cheeky, let's not lie. But
Well,
full HP,
I don't.
and Ana's not.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't want to say
You
it's
know?
confirmed. Obviously, it's not confirmed, but it's like
Yeah, I mean,
the chances are largely going up.
It's still ridiculously cheeky, but there were just more variables in your favor there, including your HP, their HP, and that's it, right? Like that's all there is to it. So it's like you read the room, I won't say correctly, but I understand the logic there, right? That's the difference.
Yeah.
So
Loaded dice.
yeah. I mean, that's really all Overwatch is. It's the speed with which you recognize your advantages and disadvantages, and also your ability to create the advantages, right? Like right now, you are not creating advantages for good gambles. Why? What's wrong?
Well, he's a ranged character.
I mean, come on. Where's your
much
close?
better.
Where's your space? Come on. Where are you supposed to
Yeah,
be?
exactly, yeah.
Here or here or here or marking tank with your Doomfist? Like you could be throwing shurikens here or something. What the frick are we doing? Right. So now this becomes just a space game, right? Like what we're not controlling space here. So it's wasted time. This is a continual problem. Now I'm gonna rotate. Well, buddy, row. What on earth are you doing? Like you should be here, and then okay, he's left. I close the gap to here. Merry Christmas. Or nobody's there, and we're on the back line, right? This is your angle. You start to think about the angle. You go, oh no, my Doomfist is getting cooked. You don't deepen. You stagnate, and you try to peel on an angle that you weren't positioned to deal with. Like you could have helped your Doomfist, but you should have been here to begin with. But instead, we've just given up all the space in the world, and now we kind of just have to commit.
Ironically, I was thinking that it was too far away to go get that Zen. Obviously, I didn't know the Zen was there.
Right.
Just
Well, it's
as
you
a
see,
point of
it's
reference.
less about the target and more about the position. We don't think anybody's there, but we know that we have a corner and we have a deflect, and we have to close the gap somehow, right? Our setup has to be
I just
invested.
more meant like I took so much time. Like
Yes,
almost
I understand
picking
what you're
to
saying.
do
I understand
and
what you're
stuffing
saying.
Around.
You're more hesitant
But-
to close the gap because you didn't close the gap when you had the time to do it earlier without committing
Exactly,
a resource. Yeah, I understand. But it's kind of like one of those situations where it's like it's better when you make a mistake of not creating space to just do something to close the gap or create space somewhere. Like even if you were to like look at the situation here and be like, okay, I screwed up, right? But let me just drop to here and then let me tail here. And then, yes, I'm going to be very late, but at least I'll still control space, right? And then, okay, there's no Zen here. I'm going to dash. I'm going to wrap and see if maybe we can clutch it from behind here. But there's just no attempt at doing that at all, right? I'm not saying you had to dash to this corner. We could have at least tried to draw a line around it and go for a way, way too late flank. Fine. That's better than nothing. So I would just not die here. Good. And then we still have staging for next fight, so. Frick me, man. Don't get your deflect for us. If you see him, just don't peek him. Because this is the angle, right? This is definitely the, the lane. And then they just give it up, so, we're cooking here. Yep, this is correct. Why is this correct? Why should we not go for
Short
Zenbap?
range.
Yeah, short range, and he's on your spot. No.
Yeah.
If the tables were turned and he was here and Zen Bap or whatever was here or Ram was here, then this would be your problem, right? He's on your lane, he's your problem, right? So we have every advantage here. Even if this was Ram, you could shoot, you could deflect, you could dash, you can hold a 1-for-1 resource. And the difference between DPS and tank is the ability for you to take a favorable HP trade. It's not your ability to get the kill, it's the favorable HP trade. So in other words, you could chunk a decent amount of Ram, force more valuable cooldowns, force supports to look at him. You don't need support. You dash away, grab mega, go right back, right? So like it doesn't matter literally who's here. You're fine. Just be calm. We're calm enough for it to work. Space is created. Favorable HP trade. If you look at this space from the backline, do you really think this is where they want to be? Right? Not good at all. Yeah. Not good at all. Right? There's even some distraction here where like Zen, Bap are going to have to look at Soldier now. And then now that's going to create space for your Doomfist. You're waiting for your cooldowns, but you still have your deflect. I don't know what the frick we're deflecting here. And crucially, once we grab Mini, what's the next step? Right now, what's the next step?
Well, I want to say go for Soldier because he's half.
But he's too far, and you don't have dash.
Yeah.
Gap close. How do you gap close?
It honestly might not be terrible if I just jump back up.
Correct. Yeah, get right back up. Yeah. Walk right back up, and then just peek right over here with your dash or with your deflector or whatever. Yeah. You got it. Gap close. You shove them. So basically what they have done is they've all run away from you. And so you're like, well, I don't know what to do. No, come on. You know what to do. Just walk. It's okay. You've done a great job. You won the 1v1, and so now you have this entire area to play around with. Like you can go all the way here, you can go here. Just move. So this is again the urgency, not the uptime. We need urgency with our setup right now. We don't need your uptime right now because you are not a valuable character right here. You're just not.
Yeah.
Certainly not without your dash. Right? So don't try to get uptime right now. Set up. So that then you can walk. Merry Christmas. Dash, deflect, everything's dead. We easily win this fight. As opposed to whatever this abomination is. Where like they just look at you for half a second and get your deflect force and you AFK. You see what I'm saying? So we're going to win this fight because your initial space creation, your stuff with the soldier, really freaking good. You won the 1v1 in the lane, you shoved him in a bad position, and then you forced the supports to pocket him while you took no resources. You won your 1v1, right? Good job. Good setup. Good stuff. And then you just bottomed out.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep.
But despite doing nothing, you still win the fight. Why? Because your start was amazing. It was great. It's perfect. Strategically. Very well done. And you were patient with your shots too. It was a little shaky, but patient. Force them out. Good stuff. Make sense?
Yep.
Really nice setup from you. How you doing? Hanging in there? It's been a little bit. I know it's...
Yeah,
it's
I'm good. I'm good.
All right.
I'm starting to wake up.
All right. Cortisol kicking in here. This is okay.
Yeah.
Like this is fine. You could look at this, but you see diaper rash here, right? So what does? I can't believe what I'm saying. Okay, so where should our next step be here, right? Like our team is pulling us forward. So where do you move here?
Up, left or down, right?
Correct. Now, what's the easier rotation given your position right now? Obviously.
Down right.
Down right. Correct. That's correct. Because if you were here and you saw your Doomfist going here, then you would be actively trading here, right? But you're not here. You're here. So the next step I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it. But yeah, your next step needs to be here. And then you can read from here, and then you go here, and then you go, oh, I'm shooting a ram. Really good, right? Mirror your tank's aggression, but rotate. Take an angle, right? You know? Like, technically, you're fighting at the same time as Ram, but you're fighting not like a Genji, essentially.
Yeah.
You're setting up for a fight here. Doomfist fights here. You got to move. It doesn't mean you dash forward, but you got to move laterally, at least.
Yeah.
And now we're basically just chasing targets, right? You see what we're doing? You see what we're doing? This is so inconvenient, and we're not really doing anything either, because we know we can't do anything versus that. It's too far. We don't have a deflect. And then now, the angle that we should have been controlling is free, and it's just a big old train wreck. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I know you're thinking about Blade there, but let me ask you a question. When you drop to here, and you chop here, are you putting yourself in a position where Blade is an option? Of course, right? Of course. But what if Blade's not an option here? Still the right play, right? Doesn't matter. So a lot of what we're asking you to do is with Blade setup, it's really just the same as normal Genji staging.
Yeah.
It really is just the same. Maybe the difference is the verticality with your dash is like a minutia that you have to be considerate of, but for the most part, it's pretty much the same. Good rotation away from the visor here, and this allows you to take some space. So, okay, we're good.
No, I'm like that. Don't worry
I never doubted. Not even for a second. It's good. Okay, what are we doing? Okay. This is good. See, we're mirroring our Doomfist's aggression, right? We're angling wide. This is good. See, we can hold this lane here. I would have tried to avoid getting your deflect forced early here before the soldier looks at you. But this is basically where, like, you shouldn't have dashed into the Vendetta, I'm going to be honest. But even despite this being pretty chunky, clunky, whatever you want to use, this is still you fighting on an angle, right? And you should never die here, 2v1, right? You just dash away. Resources have been burned from Vendetta. Resources have been burned from Soldier. And then you lived, right? It's good. Just don't dash to a wall.
Yeah. I think it was
Sure.
more just trying to please kill Vendetta there. Was more what I was going
Yeah,
with. Like,
but it's not your
I saw her
problem. It's a
health and I was
2v1.
like-
It's a 2v1. It's not your problem, right? You just
Yeah.
need to contest and live, right? And that's almost what you did. It's not your problem. Your team will look. I mean, look at the Rams HP. Look at the Bap Zin's positioning right now, right? You did great. I don't even mind the blade here. Just don't die. Just don't die. 2v1. You got a resource count, you know? I love the new deflect, the dink noise that they make with certain abilities when you get a killing blow.
Yeah.
Do you notice that?
Yeah.
It's really funny. They're like it's totally dopamine maxing. Oh my days.
I don't know how I lived that.
Ah,
That actually does remind me of a question, actually.
Yeah.
Bit of a niche thing. With, like, it always happens with Zens and Lucios, but, like, I know the Zen on the other team is holding ult for Blade. Like,
Yeah.
I know it. So,
yeah.
when I'm like, damn, it's been like 5 minutes, Zen hasn't used his ult, and I've got mine. Obviously, the answer is pull it when he's either dead or way out of range, just on like a solo
No, that's
target
not
or
the
whatever.
answer. Let me ask you a question right now. When we're playing honest Overwatch on the left angle, sorry to rain in your parade, but it's gonna be easier for you. All right, left angle right here. Obviously, deflect burned a little early there. Not the greatest. Okay, you are marking this angle. Okay, if you blade this angle, and that Zen's gonna transfer blade, where is this Zen gonna move to?
Well, over
to you. Why is he not here already?
because he doesn't want to be here.
Because he doesn't want to be. Why not?
Well, it's like a terrible position.
It's
for Zen to be in
close.
that.
It's compressed.
Yeah.
He's got responsibility over here. And for him to move from point A to point B is downtime. Not only does it mean that it's risky for the trans even to work, but it's also wasted value. So when you see this here, the reason this blade works for me is because you just simply took an angle and you bladed on the angle. That's it. And so you are forcing an inconvenient commitment of resources from the support line onto an angle that they weren't on.
Yeah.
And if you're like, well, what if the Zen was already here? Should I blade this? Yeah, absolutely blade this. Because once again, we have a situation where Zen didn't really want to be here. And you're going to take a 3v1 and probably just ask for a little bit of healing. But because this position is good for you, you can easily force Blade for Trance, take a 2v3, and make the Zen make a decision. Do I really want to stay here? Or do I have to waste and disengage? It sucks. Do I really want to be here after Trance? So no, do not wait for Zen. Don't avoid Zen. Blade the Zen if the angle is good for you. Or if the angle is good for you and Zen's not there, then make him chase you with Trance. Big value. Big value.
So so me pulling Blade and then them pulling Trance, that's never really a bad trade.
No, it's not. It's not, because if you either one of two things are true. Either the Zenyatta is in an angle that is good for you and bad for him to stop you from blading the Trance. You understand? Or he is going to have to migrate from his good angle to your bad angle, which means both downtime and he's still in a bad spot.
Yeah.
The other thing as well,
just an alt for an alt, I guess.
Right, exactly. The other thing as well is that if you play this one correctly, you are still taking a resource advantage, because Zenyatta during Trance, and I say this as a Zenyatta main, is just not really a very super useful hero, because he's not doing any damage. So what that means is that if Zen goes all the way over here with Trance, or maybe he's already here with Trance, this means that there is no Discord, there's no damage. I mean, there's Discord on the Trance, but he's not shooting to follow up. There's no damage, crucially, on anything that's happening away from Zenyatta.
Yeah.
So basically, they're down a damage
pulling
dealer.
away from that tank there.
And,
as well.
Right, and you're pulling away. So basically, the way to look at it is to simplify all of this is do not change your thought process with how you blade if they have Trance or beat. Do not. Just play.
Yeah, okay.
Use the blade on the angle, set up for it, use your dash. The only difference between a support ult blade and a non-support ult blade is a support ult blade will punish you for being bad with your setup. You waste your dash, you don't have deflect, you're dead. But to be honest, that's something that you should be doing without a support ult anyway. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Make sense? So like right now, for example,
Yeah,
this
that's
blade
very good.
isn't bad. I would have preferred you not to get you deflect force. I would preferred you to dash out so you'd be 185 HP here. But there's still cover.
Yeah.
You still have health. You still have the gap close. You also have the lifesteal. And then because you've not had to use the dash reset because you started your blade on a good position, if he gets here with trance, or he was here with trance, you would easily have dashed away to high ground and been fine.
Yeah.
So TLDR, when they have a support ult, stage with your blade properly. When they don't have a support ult, stage with your blade properly. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. You know what I'm
That
saying?
makes it very easy.
It does. It does. It does. It
Yeah.
doesn't change really much of anything.
Yeah, because I think about it most games. Whenever I'm playing against one, I'm always thinking like, where is he
Yeah. Understandable.
right now? Yeah.
Okay. Last fight here. See what we got. Yeah. Right's fine here. Just commit. Speed, urgency, right? Yeah. Good job. Nobody on your angle. Now you could sit here and shoot tank if you like to, or you can deepen. Your choice. So you choose to deepen.
That's the tank that's yucky.
It's yeah. See, this is the problem, right? Like you're like, well, there's nobody here. This is bad. Well, the fact that nobody's here is bad for them too. You understand? Like they are clumped. Like look at where the soldier died. Right? This is terrible.
Yeah.
Like you have absolute free access to this backline, and if the Zenyatta rotates away from you, and you're like, I can't gap close anymore. Well, then now he doesn't have a good sight line anymore, and then now you can just turn and focus this Lucio or focus this tank. Right? Just keep deepening. Just keep deepening. You are hurting them like rabbits right now. And so your problem has been when this happens, what do you do next, right? Like let's say this Zenyatta rotates all the way to here. Well, you go up top here, or you go up top here. Where's my next angle? Where's my next position? But he's going to go into you because he's a little frisky, and obviously that goes predictably. So, but if he had rotated away, well, then you just take another position and be like, well, congrats, you're standing in the middle of point. My Doomfist is going to get you now, and as long as I continue to improve my position, it's fine. So, yeah, this is a good job. Urgency with taking your next angle. Urgency with doing the same for blade. Not getting these freaking frontline deflex forced and being smooth with your mechanics is the quadfecta of what you need to improve on. And you can mix it up. You can add variety. But by far the most important part, as you've seen here, is just like the level of energy that you gave in both this game and New Queen Street was adaptable brain power level. My brain will improve. I will change. I will adapt. I will solve the situation. And I will plateau eventually, at a certain rank, because eventually you just got to up your playtime. Overwatch has to be more of a priority. And for most people, myself included, that's just not realistic. But given the amount of time that you have, given the amount of energy that you do have, I think that there is a reasonable bit more wiggle room upwards. But you just got to keep cracking away. No, we didn't have time to look at the third game, but yeah, go ahead.
No, that's fine. I think today definitely feels like probably the clearest I've been on like what I need to fix.
Yeah, take angle, fight, deepen, or shallow.
Yeah.
Like you saw it there. You took that left lane with a Vendetta soldier, right? And they just kind of curb stomped it, and you just needed to get out, right? Play it slow, careful. You've done your job. You've alerted your team that they're a problem. You forced resources and cooldowns, and then you took too much damage, but you probably shouldn't have taken too much damage there, which means that you're also not a nuisance to your supports. And then because you disengaged but didn't leave the angle entirely, you could still tickle and harass and try to disrupt that angle push. That's really good.
Yeah.
It's not flashy, as you said in New Queen Street, but you've talked about how you have a little bit of a pride about like, I don't need the flashy play. I'm a good, honest Genji player. And that was really nice. That was really good.
Yeah. And not getting the deflect forced.
Yes. Yeah. The deflect force there was just a little silly from you, right? But yeah, that's kind of the key thing here. It's like it's okay to get your deflect force if it's earned, right? Like I want you to think back to that BAP window on the first point of Oasis, right? Obviously, it was a flashy kill, but if you don't deflect there, you're probably going to die or you're going to take an unbelievable amount of damage. And it's not a mistake, right? You were shooting the Vendetta and then you accidentally open yourself up to an angle. I don't think that's a mistake. You just need to deflect there. It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I do have one last question.
Take your time. You have a few minutes.
I just want to know your feelings about Genji's perks. Like, do you have preferences or?
I don't have strong feelings with Genji's perks. I think they're all decent. They all have their niche. I think the Blade Lifesteal perk definitely bumps his Blade to be a much more consistent ultimate, which is kind of my criteria for saying an ult perk is good. So I think it's definitely good. However, I also can see Swift cuts versus certain compositions being decent. Like there are certain tank matchups, right, where if that's kind of like the angle that you're getting, having Swift Strike allows you to reposition more often. Certain DPS characters. It's definitely one of those perks that on paper feels a little bit more saucy than it actually is, but it's not an unreasonable perk if that's something you're able to capitalize off of. Make sense?
Yeah.
Now the one that I think I still feel relatively strong about, but it's not a guarantee. I do like meditation slightly better, just because you don't always guarantee the support on the lane. And so if we talk about 35 health per second, I know it's a 10-second long cooldown, but that is a basically guaranteed 60, 65. I would say about 60, 55 healing guaranteed every time you deflect, depending on how long it goes, with the DPS passive obviously reducing that. So that could be anywhere from 55 to 70. And that allows me to sustain a little bit longer on that lane, a little bit longer on that angle. But blade twisting is much better than it used to be. It used to be objectively the worst perk, despite a lot of some of the high rank Genjis using it. They were wrong. They just used it because it was flashy. Meditation was objectively better. Now,
I used to run it.
Yeah, I mean, it's objectively worse, right? It on elimination, DOT is just a joke. Now, half health, 25 damage, it'll change some breakpoints. Yeah. And you saw it in a couple of times in the codes that we looked at here. So I don't really care, to be honest. Totally up to you.
Yeah, okay. I think I pick the damage over time just out of habit now.
Yeah,
because I used to always do healing on deflect.
Yeah.
And then when they changed it to 10 seconds, which feels absolutely terrible, then I was like, I'll try the damage over time for a bit. And I think where I do feel like I notice it is when I'm versing flying characters.
Yes.
Because getting that extra damage when they're in the air, saving me from having to aim again once I've hit the ground, sort of thing.
Well, you got to think about breakpoints too, right? 25 HP on 225, 25 HP on 250. 225 is a larger chunk of their health pool, right? For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's interesting. That's really probably the only question I was thinking of.
Yeah, but TLDR is I think now there's a lot less because back in the day there was like the double jump one, which was just unbelievably niche, and then blade twisting was much worse.
I'd never put that on.
You basically pretty much only should be choosing the same two perks. But now both the other perks are fine. Like they're situational. It's up to you. So there's not really
I just prefer the lifesteal on blade. I don't really
there's not
mess with the other one too much.
There's not a bad choice. Really. So
yeah.
Okay. Good questions. Any other questions?
Oh, actually, something I was discussing with my chat. This is probably a silly question actually, but do you have a ranked, maybe like a top 3 supports that you would have on pushing cart if the rest of your team's up?
It's very map situational. So for example, on if we're running a map with a lot of verticality, right? A lot of verticality, like Gibraltar, Dorado, you need to get your Lucio, Brigitte, Yari, Moira, whatever, off of cart and staging either on height or on an angle as fast as they possibly can, because they don't have the ability to rotate very well, especially characters without range. If the map is relatively flat, then there's nothing really wrong with keeping them on cart. You can kind of do whatever. It just depends, basically. So flatter maps, open maps, characters with range and card is great. It's fine. Verticality maps, characters without a lot of range need to get their butts off of card as fast as they can and start to aggressively take space. And then the other question is down to how easily can this person reposition themselves and take space. Lucio, Moira, Mercy especially really good at quickly leaving cart whenever she needs to be where she needs to be, especially because her mobility cooldown is not really even a cooldown at all, right? So you could just fly off the cart instantly on an angle, right? And you're not going to get punished for that. But yeah, the other thing, like a little bit more of a detail too, is just like when you're pushing up to take space, like Zenyatta might want to be on cart on Havana. But if I could get my Zenyatta forward, pressuring that choke before they can even come out of it, is that more valuable than a Life Weaver pushing up, right? Probably, right? Like that offensive pressure. So it's nuanced. Yeah. It's nuanced, and the reality is that like you always want everybody pushing forward, but you can't. So it sort of just really comes down to like whose staging is more important, whose staging is harder, who's going to provide more value in the choke, and it's just pretty niche.
Yeah, because you had from ages ago, my friend Tim, that plays Mercy. He's always the one on cart just because everyone else just goes instantly. So he's like, oh well, I'll push, sort of thing. So I was just interested in what is more optimal.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about it with Mercy, right? Like with Mercy, the ability to quickly reposition onto an angle, basically instantly, does make her pretty attractive to push card a lot of the time. But then there's also situations where Mercy could be multiplying a very powerful DPS on a powerful angle pre-fight, in which case you probably want to put her on that person as soon as you possibly can. It's niche, and it's because it's a complicated question and answer. There isn't really a wrong answer most of the time. So it's not super important. It's just important not to have two unless you're in a situation where like pushing cart that extra little bit actually matters.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've heard you say that before. Just like one's enough.
Yeah, usually. I mean, there's obviously exceptions, but yeah, people tend to overvalue. Like, if we could just cap with 3, like I would say literally like 75-80% of the time I hear that, the person's wrong. Yeah.
Cool.
All right, mate. Always a pleasure.
Perfect.
Big thing.
Thank you.
Were the boring things, right? Like the little routine with Vaxta, settling your sense, going in with purpose, practicing one of those 4 things. Like, again, just to kind of clarify, take angle, fight angle, deepen angle if uncontested, shallow angle if contested. That's it, right? Just continually take space. Your problem has not been necessarily that initial angle, but then you get sloppy or lazy or distracted or confused on the next step. That's a very common problem. You got to continue to take space as the fight evolves. Second thing, pre-fight deflect is killing your ability to control space. Not, they pushed me, I had to deflect. I pushed them, I had to deflect. But pre-fight, there's no reason for me to be peeking this. Or I'm not taking space, I'm just kind of chilling in the back line, and then I'm just deflecting air, right? Third thing, smooth through the aim, stay nice and calm. And then the fourth thing is really going back to the first thing, which is if you want a good blade, you need to be taking space. You need to be setting up. Take the angle, take the space. Not hard flanking necessarily all the time, but like blades complement good positions. The way that you set up your blade is really not that inherently different from how you'd set up a normal engage most of the time.
Yeah.
Lots of little other details. Obviously, we talked a little bit about like the dash timing and how that can impact how you go for your one shot. So there's lots of little other nuggets in here, but for the most part, like those are the fundamentals. We don't need anything super flashy, super fancy. Just need consistency. All right.